and welcome back to Talk It Up. Today's guest is a comedian. He's also a DJ, Tommy Black. I know you do more than that. What else do you do?
I was trying to put my fingers up, man, and how you keep going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, damn
man,
it.
Well, CEO.
I could have made stuff up.
Yeah, CEO.
Club
owner now.
Club owner. Talked a little bit about that.
Father.
Let
me see. Veteran.
I didn't know you're a veteran.
Yeah, and people always leave off, man. I'm part Native American.
Are you really?
Yeah,
How much?
But people know that. About 1/3.
Did you do the ancestry thing?
Yes. I didn't have to. My whole family's from Oklahoma. so I didn't have to look nowhere except at my family. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
what are all these Native Americans doing in my reunion?
Yeah, man. My family is originally from Oklahoma. So I left Oklahoma as a child and moved to Dallas, Texas, and I was raised in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
So that's where, all my craziness come from. Actually, you can blame it on my mama.
Yeah, she did all this?
Oh, man, my mama's something else, bro. If you ever met my mama, you're like, ooh, that is him. So, yeah, man. Actually, I have a big family. So I have 2 older sisters.
Okay.
3 older brothers, 1 younger brother, and a niece that's technically my little sister. And all of us grew up in the same house. Single mom.
Big family.
Man, love it. We're making no difference.
I can relate, man. We're 6 biological, but I grew up in foster homes and stuff at all times. So now I'm closer to a lot of them, and it just feels like I have a massive family.
Our house felt like a foster home most of the time.
Really?
Man. Yeah. Because my brothers swore they hated me. As
Your
a child.
brothers swore they hated you?
I was that bad brother. Like honestly, I was a big mama's boy.
Okay.
So my mama used to go to work, and she would take me a couple of times. And I don't know how I did this, but I remembered how to get to her job. So when she would leave for work, I would walk to her job. And it's crazy. The first time, the Dallas police station picked me up. And back in the day when they had lost children, they would put you on TV. So everybody was running in there like, Janetta, your son's on TV. So when my mama came and got me, needs to say by the time she got home, I don't know if you ever watch any Bruce Lee movies.
I do.
My mama was a Bruce Lee movie on all my brothers. Like she beat the hell out of them, bro. Hey, you ever see somebody get a whooping so bad you start crying? That's how bad it was, man. My mama was like an octopus, man. So the next couple of days when my mama went to work, my brother and them would tie me up and put me in the closet until she got off of work and feed me right beforehand, so I couldn't get away and they wouldn't get no more whooping. So that let you know how my household was back in the day.
They're thinking ahead, man.
Oh man, hey man, that's scary, man. Getting tied up and you can't do nothing. You got to like pee and oh, that's scary, bro. I'm scary, man.
I feel you. This is all in Dallas, you said?
In Dallas, man. So I remember all of my life in Dallas because we moved to Dallas when I was a baby.
Okay.
So I was born in Oklahoma, but my mom moved, and I think they said I was about 2 or 3.
Thank God you got out of Oklahoma, man.
Man, when
I go living with those Tiger King dudes.
No, man, my Oklahoma was country. We just not too long ago they got a McDonald's and lost their damn mind. And then last time I went to a funeral, and there was a guy going through the drive-through at McDonald's in a tractor.
Yeah,
and I'm sitting here like we are in Oklahoma, so you know what I'm saying. But once you leave Oklahoma and go to a big city and then go back, you really see how country they are. Like
yeah, it's I've never been there, but every show that depicts Oklahoma is always some wild redneck guy that's blowing stuff up or in the country.
Same thing. Yes, it's real.
You're right, it's real.
Yeah, they chewing Copenhagen. Everybody's chewing, you know what I'm saying? Everybody chewing tobacco and got Wrangler jeans. Like Wrangler jeans, and whoever owned Wrangler is a millionaire just because of Oklahoma.
I'm pretty sure Brett Favre has like a stake in that. Remember, he used to always be in those commercials where he's wearing Wranglers?
Yeah, and then, but see what happened, Brett Favre, it wasn't true to me because he didn't have the Copenhagen circle in the back of his pants. Because, they wear them tight-ass pants and still put the Copenhagen in there. So,
that is true. And the commercials are like brand new Wranglers. They should have had him with some old ruggedy ones.
No, you got to have some old rugged. Right? Matter of fact, that's the first time I been around a horse. And that's the first time I've been jealous. I saw that horse get horny, and I was like, whoa, shit. That is something else.
Yeah, two in one day.
Whoa.
First horse, first jealousy.
Yeah, I was jealous, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, I was jealous, man. So, yeah, it was cool, though. My youth was fun.
But I have a sneaky suspicion that's why you're so funny. Because I have this theory that most people that are hilarious, which you are, is they've been through some stuff. And I mean that in a good way and a bad way. Usually, almost always, there's some traumatic stuff, but usually a lot of, like you mentioned a story just now with your brothers and stuff. I can relate to that. It's usually where you learn, like, all right, they're bigger, stronger than me, smarter than me.
Yeah.
I got to get them some way.
Man, well, you know what, though? To be honest, man, to all fairness to my brothers, everybody in my family is funny.
Really?
Like, I don't know if you ever saw Nutty Professor, the Clumps.
Yeah. Well, I know what it is. I've seen parts of it.
We're the live version.
Okay.
Like if you go to a family event at our house, it is nonstop laughter from beginning to end. And we got one of those families that you got to have a thick skin when you walk through that.
Do you guys get competitive though? Like when it comes to hilariousness?
You know what? We've learned to at times take turns, because I feel my brothers are freaking hilarious.
Okay.
And sometimes I just sit back and laugh at them. And we got one I call him the class clown, and he's the brother that's right over me.
Okay.
But I personally think I'm like the funniest one in the family.
I bet they would say the same things about themselves though if you asked them.
They would. They would. Yeah.
So I respect it.
Yeah. So my oldest brother called me and tell me some jokes, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna use that one. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? But so I love, and then my two sisters are actually the laid back ones in the family.
Okay. These are both older, you said, right?
Yeah, both older, yeah. And they're like, they laid back in the family. So they sit back and they just laugh at us. And that's honestly when my mom was alive, bless her heart. When she was alive, she would just sit back in the corner and just laugh at us because we had stories. And the funny part is, like, every story we told was almost involving her. So even though she knew the story, it was always funny. So that's the joy of having a big family, man.
And you also bring up a good point, and that sounds like a wonderful story, man.
Yeah.
How, if you don't mind me asking, how long since your mom passed away?
Oh, wow, man. I would say about 3.5 years now, 4 years.
That's recent, man. That's tough.
Yeah, it's still tough, man. It still hit me.
Okay.
I still remember, I can remember, like, back to the day that she died. So
Okay.
yeah, so it was wow.
Yeah.
And I thought she was immortal. I thought my mom was immortal, bro, because she been through some stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got to think, man, my mom can tell you some stories about the 70s and 60s and stuff, and the stuff they went through. And it's like we see all these Black history channels and all this stuff that they depict back in the day, and my mom lived it. So, you know, when you live it, it's a whole different story. Like, even when I remember when Obama got elected, you know, and I called my mom, and it sounded like she had been crying because she had thought never in her lifetime that she would get to live to see a Black president.
Yeah.
So, you know, so it's like, so that's why, like, if you look at all the stuff that happened last year, it's why I was so vocal. Because, you know, it's like I'm living testament of my mom. So the stuff that my mom lived for, that's what I'm reenacting right now.
Yeah.
So
what a great source of information, right? Because you're right. Like when you speak to someone that's been through some stuff, have you ever spoken to someone that was in the Holocaust? Like there's a different kind of, like, you know, like you can feel the story a little bit different than if you read a textbook or something. So I'm sure if I had to guess, speaking to your mom was like, it was some real stuff where you can really feel yourself there, kind of thing, right?
Well, it was also too, like, when people speak to veterans.
Yep.
And we talk about, you know, either the Vietnam War or we talk about the Gulf War. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I tell people, you know, y'all ain't seen hot until you over there in Saudi Arabia in the summer.
Yeah.
And then where I was at, we was protecting the airport for I think it was King Khalid or something like that. But our job was to protect his airport, so they couldn't bomb his airport. So that means when the plane landed, we were so close we could smell the rubber. And
where was this at? Where
were
we
in
at?
Saudi Arabia. I was actually in Saudi Arabia. So people like, oh, man, we need to go to Saudi Arabia. It's off the chain over there. Oh, no, man, it was hotter than the African picnic over there. Bro, let me tell you, it was so hot that I would just talk and rub my nose, and it would just start bleeding. So we had mandatory water breaks.
So some dehydration.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And when we first got there, it was just dirt. And they said, y'all are going to be here. And I said, nothing's there. They said it would be here when you. So we basically built a tent city when we got there. And not including, we could get bombed at any minute and all this other stuff. So it was a bunch that went over there, man. And then now you see some of my veteran brothers and sisters, they coming back with, you know, missing limbs and cancer and all this other stuff. So, you know, it's like, so to talk to veterans was almost similar to, like, talking to my mom. So it was woo.
That's intense, man. I like that you shared that, though, because it's important. You were very vocal. Where are you at today with everything? You know how, like, it's it almost feels like waves, right? And I'm just talking about the media, not the way it feels to you. But in the media, it seems like it's the biggest thing. We all need to address it. And then it's weird, like the NBA playoffs start or something, and people kind of forget about it until the next video pops up, right?
Well, you know, honestly, I'm still on it.
Okay.
but I'm approaching it from a different way.
How so?
Let's say, for instance, man, like I'm still very vocal, and it was funny, right? So when everything was going on, I never thought I would get shunned. I got shunned by the mayor of Las Cruces because I wanted to talk to the city council.
What does shunned mean? They just
but
shut you down?
basically, was it what they used to do back in the day? Talk to the hand. So that's what I sort of got talked to the handed it, by the mayor. And we was emailing each other back and forth, and I told him I want to speak to the city council,
Okay.
especially with all this stuff when we're talking about police reform. So he basically gave me this story, and I called it BS, that they haven't figured out a way for civilians to be in front of them to talk to them. And I'm simply like, in the days of Zoom, because you got
everyone's using Zoom.
Everybody, and matter of fact, I had a Zoom call the night before I emailed him, and then I looked at one of their programs. I went to see the city council meeting,
mm-hmm.
and they had someone on there, the pet of the week or something. So I'm like, well, y'all got the pet of the week, so I don't know what Herman the cat got to do with all this stuff that's going on in the city. But how could you be elected, but you don't want to hear from the people that put you in an office? So that stuff like that pisses me off.
And I'm assuming it's during the pandemic. So they use that as an excuse on why you couldn't talk.
Yeah, and that excuse didn't fly.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
And he even emailed me and said, well, Mr. Black, what you could do is that you can email me what you want to say, and I can read it.
That's not how that works. So that's your words coming out of his mouth. It's very different. And you know that as a comedian, jokes, the same exact joke gets told different.
It's even as a DJ. I can give you the exact same songs I got, but me and you going to play them different.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when he told me that, I tried to think of the most political way to write him back. And the only thing I could think of, and I'm a paraphrase, is like, sir, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't need you to talk for me because there's no way that what I tell you to say, you can come in with my feelings because I lived this. Because he had a.
That's stupid that he even said that he would do that.
Well, it's expected, but I should be nice. But he had a podcast with another gentleman, African-American gentleman.
Okay.
So I watched the podcast to see what he had to say, and he went on with this story about how when he was a child or a teenager, he would get pulled over so he could sort of understand how the black people felt.
Okay.
And then
that was his I relate to you story?
Yes, that's
okay.
it. Yeah.
I'm on board.
So I did my best not to throw something at the screen because I'm like, there is no possible way. And then I'm like, you're poo-pooing the whole situation. Like, no, sir, you have no idea how it feels as African American to drive down the street and you get pulled over. I mean, even if I get pulled over for a regular speeding ticket, my butt cheeks are tight because I have no idea what's going to go on.
Yeah.
And if you play, as we say, into the stereotypes, we don't get the fair just. Maybe I don't look intimidating or I don't know what it is. I mean, most people say I look like Jimmy the Cricket or Ja Rule. So I don't know if, the police ain't scared, but it's like I get nervous, and I grab the wheel.
Okay.
And I'm yes, sir, no, sir, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So for him to put himself in that situation as you being and I don't even know what he is. Is he?
I don't know either. For sure mixed if he thought that story would work.
He's not black.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with your hair looking like Frankie Beverly, what's his name? The dude on Grease, Frankie Valli. So if your hair look like Frankie Valli, they ain't finna pull you over and treat you like somebody hair that look like Maxwell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a different thing. So when he did that, I found that remotely, I thought it was a slap in the face.
That's literally what it is. Here's my take on that. Exactly what you said. It's a thing, white people for sure do it. But anyone who can't relate, they try to do the thing where they go, their first thought is, how do I relate? And they say things like that because in their mind, it's like, oh, they'll like think that I relate and we'll be cool. But that's not, what's wrong with just going like, hey, I don't know what that feels like, man. Let's hear what you have to say. Because I can hear these stories all day, but I'll never really know. Right. I want to do my best to hear you. But I think there's a thing that happens where people are like, they try to gain rapport almost like, oh, it's when I was 3, this happened to me. And you're like, that's different, man. We're not even talking about that.
Oh, I got black friends.
Oh,
and
that's another one.
Yes, another. And see, I'm one of those people, man, like that irritates me.
Yeah.
So, and then my mama always said I talk with my face. So when you say something, I'm like, it's like that. Did somebody fart? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? No, that's stupid. And then it's like my filter is sort of like the filter of Homer Simpson.
Okay.
So if something is in my head, I'm going to tell you. And I'm one of those people, I don't like to tell you something, then come back and apologize. I try to correctly think it out. But I really wanted to have a one-on-one with the mayor of our city. And as of today, I still don't think they have done anything about the stuff that they talked about. And, it's like, so now we have to get to that point where we got to start putting our actions in front of our words, because our words without actions ain't nothing but words.
Yeah.
And if you are in the city council and you the mayor and we voted you in, why can't you sit around and talk to the people that may be affected by this situation?
Well, what's their new excuse? Because things are open now. Have you talked to them recently?
Man, listen, I'm Chuck D. I'm public enemy number one, man. And you know what? I'll take it. if I standing up for what I think is right intimidated you, I don't look at you the same.
Yeah.
And we've been in the same area before, but it's always I got to hear them go. And to me, why? Like, I'm no one. I'm just a voice. But I want to be a voice for those people who are voiceless.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've learned to calm my temper down where I can talk to you intelligent, but just don't insult me. Because if you insult me, then I'm a play into that stereotype. And I'm going to turn into Madea, and I got to tell you how, tell you how I feel. But it's to the point, man, where like you are elected officials, and it really pissed me out too. Now you got me on the podcast.
Oh, you're ranting already, man.
Well, remember when he told the people during the pandemic, if you are those people who work hourly and then you get tips, then he said, maybe if you take less tips or less money an hour, you will get bigger tips. So I'm laughing like, okay, so you're telling your people that's already struggling to find work to make less money so they can make more tips from people who don't have jobs because of the pandemic.
Who aren't tipping.
Right, who ain't tipping.
Yeah.
But then your ass sitting here with your fresh haircut, your fresh ass pressed suits, and you're telling us to take less money, but I did not hear one time that anybody from the city council gave back their money because of the pandemic.
It's first of all, we're going to solutions with people that can't relate, right? Like people like you just said, those guys can't relate.
Right.
The governor, the girl in Santa Fe, remember she was busted at a jewelry store during lockdown?
Can't relate.
Busted at a jewelry store while she was telling everyone to stay home and mask up.
You having pizza parties and buying all this food for all your people and all this other stuff, but then you got people out here starving.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's what pissed me off. So you're telling people who's working, who's not making no money, to take less money so they can get tips from people who's making no money.
Yeah. It's
ass backwards, man.
Yeah, makes no sense.
So that kind of stuff, like I said, I want to fight for the common person because honestly, man, if you really think about it, my mom didn't have no college education. She raised all her kids on her own. So there wasn't no Lamborghinis flying through my house, and we wasn't having the top of the line steak and everything. My mom was, she introduced me to food stamps. I didn't know what food stamps was. She was like, hey, go to the store with this and just hand me some, because we had the paper food stamp back then.
I remember the paper food stamps when I was a kid.
So and once I figured out what they were, I would put food stamps in between regular money so everybody at Tom Thumb, because that was our store. We had Tom Thumb, but I got regular money, but the whole time I had food stamps. And then, the That's clothing clever. Situation, we was to that point where we would pass down clothes.
Yep,
so when you get out of school, take your school clothes off and put your play clothes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I bought shoes from the grocery store. That's so now that's why it's hard for people to bother me into talking about me with the way I am now, because you as a person never know what I came from.
Yeah.
You never knew what got me in this situation. See, now my mom is my motivation. So she's up in heaven. I'm going to make her proud. But then I got these two little girls that looking at me, and I don't want to give them no excuse for them to say my dad gave up. Because if you look back at it, man, how long have I made money for other people? And yes, I made my fair share of money. I mean, let's go back to Hurricane Alley.
So, yeah, give people a little bit of background that don't know you, which I'm sure everyone will.
Okay.
What did you do and how'd you come up in Las Cruces?
Okay, so originally I started DJing when I joined the Army in El Paso, Texas.
I actually didn't know that.
Yes. So I started DJing there. So we used to have these barracks parties.
I was going to say the Army, you must have been super popular, man.
Yeah. It was crazy. Fast, too, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I always could. Okay, this is going to be fun.
Let's do it.
So I always could dance. I always was a pop locker. So if you seen that movie Breaking, he didn't have shit on me. Like I was terrible.
I saw you post that video the other day on Facebook too with the guy. You're like, this is how I wake up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's me. I used to be that guy. So when I joined the Army, we used to go over to Juarez, and I used to dance against people over in Vertigos, and I forgot what the name of the other one.
The Derby.
The Derby. Yeah, we used to dance against people over there, man. I used to bust their ass. So one day, man, this guy was in the barracks, and he had some turntables from New York, and I was intrigued. And I was like, hey man, can I play with him? So I'm in there jamming, and I started getting good. It's like I picked it up real quick. And then one day I was doing this party, man, and this officer named Otis, his name was Otis, he walked up to me and said, hey, man, we have a party for our fraternity. Would you want to DJ? And I said, yeah, but my man has to come with me because those are his turntables, you know?
Yeah.
So we DJ'd that party, and it just so happened that a dude at that party was JoJo the Hitman McKay. He used to be the night jock at Power 102 in El Paso.
Okay.
So he said, hey, man, we need to get you up at our station. So I said, all right, cool, I'm down, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So they had a competition on the radio one day saying, man, we got an open spot. We're going to have a competition on the air. Tell us who y'all like the best. So I went in there, man. I let the other DJs go first because I want to hear what they
How many would you say?
It was about 4.
Okay.
Yes, I think it was about 4 or 5 of us. So I went, I think, 3rd, and I smashed it. So everybody was calling up, voting, oh, man, Black killing it, whatever, blah, 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 A, B, C, and D. And then I ended up getting the position. So I actually started DJing at Power 102. I did all the power jams and all that kind of stuff. And then I started doing remote gigs in Midland. And I was working with
Dana. You still lived there for a while?
Yeah, I was with Dana Cortez and Candyman. So when they moved to Albuquerque, they called me. So I ended up going to Albuquerque. So I did the Albuquerque gig. Then I did a station there. Went over to the competitive station because they wanted to pay a little more.
There you go.
So I did the competitive station, and then one day, man, I got a phone call from Damien and Ernesto because the station up there flipped. So we wasn't the same. They would talk radio, and I'm too country for Albuquerque. So I got a call from Damien and Ernesto because I think Kid Vicious or somebody had just left, and they wanted me to be the new night job. So I came down here, and it was funny because I was pissed off. The main reason I came, because y'all had the Popeyes chicken down here, and I would love to eat some chicken, right? I said, I sound country as hell right there, but I love some chicken. And I came down, and then the Popeyes closed right after I came down.
It did close pretty. I'm from Louisiana, man, so I was hoping they would bring that back.
Well, I heard it's coming back. I read something the other day that they're bringing the Popeyes back.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Along with the Dutch Brothers, and it's supposed to be
I did see the Dutch Brothers one.
It's supposed to be a whole bunch. So Las Cruces is growing.
It is.
So I did I started the night show, and I got trained by I don't know if you remember Candy, but she was a weekend jock at Hot 103. So she trained me. So they put me on at night, and it was funny because my first month or so, I had petitions to get me off the air
from like
local
citizens.
Local citizen.
Okay.
So this is gonna be juicy.
What'd you do?
So, damn. So Ernesto told me when I took over on the radio station to be me, and my first question was, "Are you sure?" And he said yes. So me and Damien would do the Who Ride, and this is what nobody ever knew. Before we did the Who Ride, me and Damien rarely, if never, talked about what we're going to talk about on the Who Ride.
You just riff, just whatever came to mind kind of thing?
Top of my head.
There you go.
And we had a ball. Now, the first couple of months, excuse me, I didn't mean to burp on the air, but I know, I'm sorry, man, I got a big throat. It was funny because Ernesto, he was like the operation man.
Okay. So
I always visit his office, and he pulled me in, and Ernesto got this disappointed dad look when he got to tell you something bad. He'd be like, hey, I've been coming to the office. I need to talk to you and everything. So I was like, all right, cool. So I go in there, and he said, man, we had some serious complaints about you. I said, about what?
This is like day 3, you said, right?
Yeah, like day 3, right? And he said, man, it was some ladies on the air, so they was offended because you was talking about fat women and all this kind of stuff, man. And he said they are a core audience that we're trying to get, man. So, blah, blah. So I was like, That was day 3. So day 5, hey man, I had somebody from the NAACP call here, and it's a true story, right? And he said, man, you know, they called up here and blah, blah, blah. And I think her last name was like, I think it was Rodriguez, right? So get it, NAACP Rodriguez. So I'm tripping the hell out, right? So Ernesto said, hey, man, can you go on the air and apologize? I said, yeah. I said, I'll do that because I want to get out of his office.
Is this for the same incident?
No, it's for like all the incidents, like all the incidents. And
day 5, you have quite the rap sheet. You messed up a few times.
Yeah, pissed people out. They was at the highest level of pissed.
So when they said we need you to apologize, did they mean like for everything?
Yeah. Well, first of all,
like one of those terrorist notes.
basically, yes.
Is that what they expected you to do?
It piled up on me, man. I was sitting like, damn. So in my mind, I'm like, damn, I'm about to lose my job. But then there's the little angel on my shoulder named Janetta Black, and she said, always be you and never apologize for who you are.
Yep, I agree.
So I went on the air, and Damien knows me well. Like me and Damien, even when I was at Power 102, we used to do shows, you know, with NB Riders and Baby Bad. He used to come to all the Power Jam. He knew me. So Damien looked at me when we was finna pop the mic at a 5 o'clock Who Ride. He said, oh, man. He looked at me. He said, you ready? I said, yeah. He said, damn.
He knew you weren't going to apologize, huh?
He knew it. So we popped the mic and, hey, how you doing? This is Damien. Welcome to the 5 o'clock Who Ride, DJ Black, blah, 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 blah. I let Damien get his spiel out. And then they said, he said, Black, do you have something to say? And I said, yeah. So I said, hey, man, you know, I want to apologize to the people that I have offended. And, you know, I'm sorry about that. And they want me to come over here to apologize. I said, but let me tell y'all what I'm not going to do. I'm not finna sit up here and apologize to nobody for nothing I said because, first of all, the women that were complaining about me talking about fat women, let me get this straight. My mama is 5'3", 210 pounds, i.e. fat. So I love my mama. So if you took that on the fence, you need to go down to one of these damn gyms and get your jog on. Love you for who you are. And I said, and for the lady that called in named Rodriguez from the NAACP, let me break something down to you, ma'am. I said, first of all, my name is Black. I am Black, and I got bad credit. If you don't like what the hell I said you have all the right in the world to grab your radio and change the station. I said, but I promise you, you're going to come back. And needless to say, 8 years later, the Who Ride was the #1 show in this city, man. For like, we had people in El Paso talking about it.
That was the go-to segment, man. Because
when you drive home, the last thing you want to hear is some boring ass radio. You stuck in traffic, or let's say, fast forward, you in line at damn, Dutch Brothers.
Yeah. Or if you just got off a long day of work and like a guy like you's on and you're just laughing, that's a good, you need that because you just got off a long day of work. Yeah.
It's a good segue back to life. You know what I'm saying? And then it was cool because, man, back then it was more unity. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody had us on. They would drive by the station bumping us and it was wonderful, man. But the Who Ride is what really connected me with Lost Cruises, because I never, ever, ever act like I was better than no one else. And nobody knew this, right? My boy Henry, when I first moved to Lost Cruises, I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. So I was staying in hotels and nobody knew that. So me and Henry ran into each other one day. We've been knowing each other for like, now 20 some years.
Yeah.
And he said, nah, man, you ain't finna do that. I got a place for you to sleep. So he gave me a place to sleep. So as time started going on, I started accumulating houses and blah, 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 and A, B, C, and D. And then it's like, once again, if you don't know my backstory, then you don't know why I do stuff the way I do.
Yeah.
And then I had to make some money because it ain't like I 103 paying you $1 million, right? I was part-time. So I saw that they was doing El Patio $2 Tuesdays. So I was like, hold on, man. Let me figure out another gimmick to make some money. So I started putting my brain together and I started making some thoughts, and I went by Hurricane Alley. And I was like, we made a picture, Hurricane Alley, me and Damien. Why don't we do $2 Tuesdays? We're in town. You don't have to drive to Mesilla where the police will pull you over for whatever reason.
And those Mesilla police don't play around.
They don't play around, bro. So and then the club is bigger.
Yep.
So needless to say, Hurricane Alley popped off like bananas, bro. Like the line was all the way down. What's the chicken place? right there by Hurricane Alley, man. I can't believe it's at the tip of my tongue. The wing place.
Wingstop.
Wingstop. So it was all the way down to Wingstop. You know what I'm saying? So that went on, honestly, for 7 years straight. Every Tuesday, 7 years straight. You know, and I bought on other DJs like Amir and you know, Chopsticks and all these other things. And one thing people knows about me, if you look at the track record, I always want to bring the next person on.
Yeah.
I always want to show love to the next person because to me, no matter if you're the richest or you're the smartest person, if you can't share your knowledge and you can't share your experiences with someone else, man, you're truly not living. And then now for me to see, you know, I call him my brother, to see my brother Amir when he took off and, you know, and start winning all these awards, man. And then when he went to New York and did his thing, you know, to me, I felt like a big brother watching his little brother do his thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of person that I am. And honestly, I think some of the blessings is coming back to me now because, you know, with this new situation that I got going on, I'm watching the love, and sometimes, man, I don't even know how to take it, man. People pull me to the side, and then they talk to me, and they tell me, you know, how much they appreciate it. And, you know, and I'm one of those people, man, I don't know how to take compliments.
So how do you take them?
I try to...
even if it's wrong, do you just go like, thanks, man, and then just run off?
No, I actually try to... I actually try to deflect.
Deflect a little bit?
Yeah.
Or joke? That's always a good one, right?
I always try to joke about it, man. Then there's this lady at my job. Her name is actually Mrs. Black. And then she said, you need to learn how to take compliments. And she saw
how are you doing on that?
Well, I don't see me like everybody else see me.
Which is fair, but you're not so. If you're really good at accepting compliments, and that's not humble at all, right?
No, it's like,
you shouldn't be good.
You should be complimenting me.
Yeah, woo, that guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Everyone, get over here. He's complimenting me. Like that would be weird, right? But it should be a little awkward.
But you'll never see me go nowhere and hoop and holler that I'm DJ Black, or hoop and holler that I'm Tommy Black. It's like,
it's because you remember where you come from, and you have a wonderful mother that instilled some things in you that you're going to have no matter what.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
And she is. Ooh, yeah. People have no idea, man. Like even when I went home one day. And I went to go get me a hotel. Mm-hmm. My mom got mad at me because she wanted me to sleep on the couch. And she was like, well, Tommy, you can sleep next to me. And I was like, no, because you ain't never heard you snore. I'm not.
You don't have to sleep with you.
Yeah, I was like, you roll over and hit me one of the big ham hocks. You know, I'm like, no, I'll be unconscious. Like, I'm not doing that. But no, man. But my mama is my everything.
Yeah.
And you know, and she's the reason that I am the way I am today. But I've had some good friends along the way too that get in my ear. So I'm not gonna lie about that. Friends get in your ear, especially when they're real friends and they tell you real advice.
Yeah.
It makes you think different.
You can always tell, and I was even telling you a little bit off air about Robbie when he was on here. Yeah. I don't know if he said all this on air, but he mentioned a cool story about you. He was pretty much saying that you taught him this thing. We're really getting into like connections and when you go out, the way you handle yourself and who people can be. And he told me, he said, DJ Black taught me this thing that whenever you go out, dress and act like you're going to meet someone important. Like this could be a job opportunity. This could be a promoter. You never know. And he was saying that he took that energy and just went out and did shows, and everyone he met just smiles, nice to meet you, you know what I mean? He carried himself well, and he got gigs out of it.
Oh, man, tell Rob, thank you, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Well, I'm sure he's one of the listeners. He'll be hearing this right now.
That's dope.
Yeah, he had everyone, I don't know anyone that says bad things about you. I'm sure they exist, right? You piss
at least you ain't met my last girlfriend. Oh, Lord. Woo. But
here's how I remember you. So I'm not from here, from Louisiana, but I've lived here since I was young. So I remember the Who Ride, and I remember you used to I don't even know what the right word would be. You would announce the And1 games.
Yes.
When the And1 team came in town. That was the first time I ever put you with your voice because I knew you on the radio.
Right.
And I remember going to the And1 games. My brother, one of my foster brothers was a really big And1 fan. And so I went with him. And you were so funny, man. And I must have been like, I was in middle school and I got to go to Cruces High to watch the game. Right. And you were funny to me. And I could imagine how you were to the adults. You know what I mean? Because your humor kind of, it traveled well with age groups. And you were clowning on everyone. I forgot to watch the game at points. You were so funny. And then I put it together. I'm like, it's the dude from the radio, man. This guy's so funny, man. But he seems so natural at it.
Well, I remember this girl named Sarah. She was going up the stairs. She had some white pants, right? Ooh. And we was in the middle of a play. And I saw her, and she got a big butt, right? So I saw her going the stairs. And some said, I just looked at the mic, and everybody started looking at her. I did was... And she never knew that I was talking about her until she looked around and she turned red.
She's like, why is everyone laughing?
Yeah. Oh, it was so funny. I mean, you know what, though? Because the thing is, Victor Starr, he used to be a Power 102, and he told me, if you smile when you're on the radio, it goes out to people.
You can feel it.
And you can feel it.
100%. Yeah.
And I'm always happy when I'm going places because, one, I was taught every day you wake up in the morning, it's a blessing.
Yep.
I don't like to stress and I don't like to do all this other stuff because there's so much more to live for. And if COVID didn't teach us that, or whatever the hell that was, if it didn't teach you to live every day as if it's your last, then you're never going to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's why I preach so much. Even on my Facebook, I preach about stuff, man, because I hate to see parents fighting each other on Facebook because the kids are involved. I want to ban women in Las Cruces for pointing the middle finger up every picture. Like, why every picture, every girl in Las Cruces feel like I do this?
That's not a good look, by the way.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because we're parents. So you got to think what we are. It goes down to our kids.
Yep.
Like take all the people that were doing all the I hate black people, all the white people. Oh, black people ain't shit. Then you see their kids doing it.
Well, and they got it from their parents.
Yeah. So you're teaching your kids hate. So imagine if you walk around and you love life, then you're teaching your kids love.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like me and my oldest daughter, and like, honestly, I think she's like the coolest chick in the world, right?
How old?
27.
Okay.
She's the coolest chick in the world, man. Me and her get on the phone. She check me sometime, but we're like big movie buffs. But she knows me so well, like even, you know, on the anniversary of my mom's passing, or Mother's Day, you know, because I don't really celebrate Mother's Day no more, or stuff like that, or my mother's birthday, my daughter always, and I didn't even notice this until recently, like she always called me. And the first thing she says, "Are you okay?" And it's like me and my daughter's love is crazy because I was with her as she grew up. We used to go to father-daughter dances, so we're like extra tight. But if you see my daughter is like the spitting image of me, which is weird because I'm the spitting image of my mom.
Yeah.
So when I see my daughter, I see my mom. So to me, that's another motivation. So it's like, man, I call her, hey, you come spend Thanksgiving with your dad this year? Yep. So I'm sitting around, I'm walking around like, damn, and I still get warm fuzzies. Mm-hmm. Like when my daughter's like, she gonna come visit me, and I'm like, damn, I gotta still impress my daughter. But it's like, man, it's great. I love it.
What a wonderful parallel, though, that you could even notice that. And that's like, yeah, life is beautiful sometimes, right?
It is beautiful, bro.
That's crazy, man. No, I can see that in you. And I connect with certain people. We like you said, like the way we got raised. I didn't get raised very well at all, but thank God I got put in foster care, and I had some really good friends, and I took all the best parts of them, and I was able to grow and things like that. But I always notice certain things in certain people, and so I could pick up on that right away from you. Like it's you could tell you really know what you're talking about, and you really care about it. Like you're not just saying this because people are watching, whatever. You can tell you really feel that.
Oh man, I'm humble beginning, man. Hell, I still can remember first day I got high.
I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
No, I'm gonna tell you yours. I'm gonna tell you mine.
You tell me mine.
So we was at my friend's house, man. His name was Artie Gray, Bernard, right? So we're at his house and we're playing dominoes.
You're not gonna get him arrested, are you?
No. We're playing dominoes.
You guys didn't kill a guy at the end of this, did you?
Nah, I killed something though. But I'm gonna tell you this. So check it, right? So we playing dominoes, and all of a sudden everybody's smoking weed. So you know when you as a kid, and I'm a teenager, right? So I'm like, you know what? Let me try it. So I'm smoking weed, right? And I'm one of the dudes, you see, I'm all high energy, right? Weed actually chilled me out. So I'm sitting there, right? And I'm high as a kite, man. I'm high as a giraffe ass, right?
Wait, how old were you, did you say?
I probably was about 16 or 17.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there and I'm looking around, and I don't know why, but this one tree was sexy as hell to me when I was high. I'm looking at this tree like, this tree fine as a motherfucker, right? So I'm looking at this tree. I'm imagining me and this tree making out.
Jesus Christ.
And I can see myself with little switch kids. You know what I'm saying? Little branch kids. You my daddy. Like, no, man, that was a one night stand. So that day, when I knew I wanted to come on to a tree, I ain't never getting high again, bro. Never. So I have never been high since then. No, I got high. I never smoked and got high again. But when I DJ'd in Denver, oh man, they had this club called Chances. And in Denver, they smoked on the inside of the club.
Oh yeah. They were on it ahead of everyone else.
Way ahead of everybody. So it was a 3-story club, right? And all my boys came down. Henry and all of them came down, right? I'm DJing. And it looked like it was the weed Olympics, bro. Like I'm DJing on the table. Everybody on the table cutting up their weed, rolling up blunts. So we're in the room. Everybody's smoking. By the time that club was over, I had so much, my chest was hurting. And I didn't smoke one.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You pretty much got hot boxed.
Man, I got hot boxed like crazy, bro. and
Club hot box.
Bruh, it was scary. And people like, they passing blunts. Hey, man, you want this? Everybody passing. It's like, I'm telling you, it was like the weed Olympics, bro. Never seen anything like, but I've never been like, oh, man, I got to give me some weed. I got to go do this. You know what I'm saying? I've never been that guy.
I believe some people are meant for weed because I have some friends that could smoke and accomplish so much. I'm not one of them. And so I'm not a weed smoker either. But I smoked weed around the same age when I was 16. A buddy of mine was, I had smoked before then, but I didn't do it right. No one really taught me how to inhale. So I'd always smoke. And I remember as a kid thinking like, this is stupid. You don't actually get high. People are just acting high. That was my theory. So 2 or 3 times of doing that, one of my friends was like, he caught me not inhaling right. And he goes, nah, man, I'm going to teach you how to do this. And we're smoking out of a Pepsi or a Coke can.
Right.
Take a big old hit. And he goes, hold it in. Suck it in more. Hold that for 5 seconds. Suck it in more. So I actually inhaled for the first time in my life, blew it all out. Of course, nothing instantly. So I'm like, see, I just can't get high. Something's wrong with me. And they're like, all right, man. And I remember walking inside and just that moment, like, whew, like where everything hit. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was like a weird moment. And then I sit down on the couch and I remember like doing the thing where I'm like, all right, just do something. Cause I was a kid in foster care. I'm like, if my parents come out, they're going to think I'm high. I'm going to get kicked out of my home. And so I just got the remote and turned it on and it was Blood In, Blood Out, that movie.
Oh man, that movie great.
And so I was like, all right. And I was way too high to figure out the remote anyway. So I'm like, looks like I'm watching Blood In, Blood Out. It's like a 3-hour movie worked out. And I'm watching Blood In, Blood Out. And my foster family comes in and just the image from their perspective, I'm sure like, what is this white ass foster kid doing watching Blood In, Blood Out, like in the middle of our couch?
You're learning culture.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. And they're a Hispanic foster family. So I'm sure they're like, what's going on? And they tell me like, Will. And I look over, just bloodshot red eyes. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, just watching Blood In, Blood Out. Vatos locos, man. And I just turned right back. And I think to this day, I think they knew I was high.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what? Like, whatever.
But you know
something's wrong with this kid.
But we was at the age that we experimented.
Yeah. They probably did know. And they're like, whatever. As long as he's sitting here not hurting anyone.
I mean, because first of all, your eyes red. You couldn't smell you, but they could smell you.
I bet they could.
Especially, did they smoke?
No.
They can smell you.
Yeah. They
like
don't smoke at all.
if somebody smoked weed and walked past me, since I don't smoke, I can smell it.
That's true.
And you know what I'm saying? So I have my spider sense. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So it was.
They knew.
Yeah, they knew, man. But I think I've been drunk. I can count probably on one hand how many times I've been drunk.
Were they like accidentals? Like I just had too much?
I didn't know my limit.
I got you.
Yeah, I think the last time I've been super buzzed, as I call it, my boy Big Mike up in Albuquerque, he had me at this club, man, one of them taverns, and he kept feeding me drinks, bro. Like I just sit there until I got my senses, because I got this thing is I always want to be in control, and when you're drunk, you're not in control, bro. You don't know it because you think you're super bad or whatever, bro. I just sit there and the room was like spinning, bro, and I never do it again.
Yeah, it's not the
no.
It's I got drunk for the first time when I was really young, and I remember getting freaked out about it. And I'll drink now, but when I was young, because my family did it, I was like, nah. I saw how they got.
Yeah.
And I saw like one time my brother got really drunk, and I thought he was dying because he drank that Mad Dog 2020.
Oh Lord!
And when he got drunk and threw up, it was red, the Mad Dog. And so I thought he was throwing out blood. And so as a kid, going like, my brother's dying.
Poltergeist.
Yeah, like oh my god, I'm never gonna drink because this is what it does to people. And then I figured it out. And then I remember I went to a party. That's like late in high school was the first time. And I remember getting really drunk and thinking like, yeah, I think I'm going to do this for a while.
Yeah.
Like I just went through a phase where I was drinking a bunch.
I couldn't do it, man. I don't know why. I couldn't do it. Yeah. I mean, even you got to think, bro, we had $2 Tuesdays. Is that what it no, yeah, $2 Tuesdays. And I never got drunk. People would buy me shots. And I think, okay, now this is funny. So I remember the last time I buzzed in Las Cruces was my first comedy show that I ever did a comedy.
Okay. How did it go?
And we was at Hurricane Alley. And
the comedy show was at Hurricane Alley?
Yeah. And I was nervous as a hook in church, right? So it's the first time on stage. People had dared me to do comedy because they were like, man, you're funny on the radio. You should do comedy. And I said, well, if we can do it for a charity event, I'll do it. Okay. So we got the charity event together and I went on stage. And I didn't know until after the show that the whole time I had a chicken bone from Wingstop in my hand the whole show. I never dropped it.
You just forgot about it?
Yeah, I was doing shots before. I was like, I'm going on stage, give me some shots. So I'm taking these shots.
I bet that made the act better, though, just that you had a chicken wing.
Yeah, it was hilarious, bro. Because when I go back and look at the tape, I was like, yo, I had the jokes written on a piece of paper in my hand,
Mhm.
and the chicken wing in the other, and the whole time.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, yeah.
How did you do? Did you?
Well, everybody said I did good. I mean, I actually am my biggest critic. Like, I'll go back and look at the video,
Mhm.
and then sometimes I started, like, everybody think stand-up is easy. You go on stage.
Everyone does.
Not
Anyone that has a friend, everyone has at least one friend that's like, dude, I would kill it if I could get up there. And that's not how it goes.
Man, I seen people in deer in headlights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. It's a technique to it because I have so many jokes pop in my head. I step on my own self because I cut off your laughter. You can be like, ha, 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 but I'm on to the next joke, next joke, so I'm not giving you an opportunity to laugh.
If I had to guess, you tell me if it's true or not. If you're ahead, if you're already thinking about your next joke, you're probably not delivering the current joke very well, right?
I agree.
I have a funny video I can show you of a guy not doing very well.
I probably know who you're going to show me.
I just saw him and I'm like, God, and I felt bad. You know what's weird is I can see the talent in him. Like, I could tell that he was really good, but maybe the moment was too big.
Is he from here?
I don't think so. Let me see. I'll pull it up. Finish your story about the chicken bone while I'm pulling up.
I mean, the chicken bone, it was hilarious, man. Like I said, I when I went back and saw the video, I was like, I held the chicken bone in my hand the whole time. So I thought I was seducing a chicken bone, man. But it was fun, man. But that started me off.
Was that a moment where you're like, I think I want to do this again? Like, after that moment?
You know what? Being on stage and hearing laughter is a high.
I was talking about that in the last podcast.
Yeah, it is a serious high, bro, to get that. And I think, like, now my high is a little different because, you got to think, Las Cruces, we're a little bit over 100,000 people.
And growing, yeah.
Yeah, but you got to think how much I've traveled doing comedy.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've done Dallas, Houston, Phoenix numerous of times. I mean, then me and one of my friends, we went to Oakland. Actually, on July 4th, I'm doing the Laugh Factory in California.
That's a big one.
Yes, that's a big one. And then a guy that owns the Ha Ha Comedy Club, which is a big one in LA, called me. And then I'm doing there twice on Saturday. Then I'm doing the Laugh Factory on Sunday.
That's badass,
and
man.
Yeah, Chocolate Sunday, which is big because the guy that developed that is actually one of Kevin Hart's partners. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on the, and if you go back and do the history on the Laugh Factory, the best of the best have been on that stage. So to actually get an invite to that place, and this is my second time going there. The first time you go, they give you 2 minutes, 2 minutes to make people laugh. So you need to go on stage. Ain't no, hey, how you doing? I'm Tommy Black. You know, that's 30 seconds gone. So you got to go on there. And you got to hit these jokes. Then they bring you back to the graduate class, which I'm going to. They give you 5 minutes. And so now I got to figure out what I can do as soon as I get on stage to make these people laugh.
Is that what you're working on now? Like what 5 you're going to use?
I can't write jokes.
So before I share this video, since we're on the topic, I have a question about that. Yeah. Because again, there's always the person in the group of friends that's like, I would be so funny. I'm the person that realizes and understands how much hard work goes into these things. And I've seen people, like I told you, this guy that look really good, but then bomb because there's so much more to it. Anything in life, you have to put in time, master it, craft, all that stuff.
Yes.
And so, and I saw your video and I really liked it. I was wondering, since you kind of touched on it a bit, you said you can't write. Here's my thing. I always wanted to do stand-up comedy, and I always I had a plan at one point, but I sat down one day to do exactly that.
Right.
No clue to where to even start. I was like, how do you even write comedy? And so what's your process like?
Life. Like if you listen to a majority of the stuff that I talk about, it's something that I lived. And it's funny because I'm one of those weird people. You'll see me driving down the street and then I'm in the car by myself laughing my ass off because I thought of a joke.
Do you have to hurry up and put it down? Or
I never write it.
Okay, I was going to say, so you can keep a thought
pretty good. I keep a thought and I have to play it out. Like the one when I did about the eyebrows.
Uh-huh.
I thought that one out and I tried it a couple of different ways. Like if you see me on a couple of different shows, you see it. And then you're like, okay, he changed it up. So then once I start formatting it.
You get the one that hits harder and you're like, I'm going with that delivery.
And then I start adding to it.
Okay.
Like if you notice the one I did with the eyebrows, and I put in the one where it started raining.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I came up with the Oh Hell No Friend. And then that's when I started thinking about the girls with the leggings who don't have no ass. And then what I think about is I try to put them all together. And then I hit on a hot topic sometimes. Like one of my big things now, what I'm hit on in LA is dating. And dating when you get older is a little different because you got these girls that got kids. And I tell people there's nothing wrong with dating girls with kids, but I'm old school. I can't date girls with badass kids because I grew up getting whoopings.
Yeah.
Like when you talk back to your mom back in the day, she gonna bust your ass.
Not anymore.
So I tell people, yeah, not no more. So I tell people, if you don't know what whoopings is, Google it. Right now it's called child abuse. I said, 'cause back in the day, I used to get child abuse.
It says also known as whoopings.
Yes. And she said, and then I said, yes. Oh, I turned into Sinead. Yes. And then, you got to have certain good instruments to give a adequate ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? You can have a belt. You can have a fly swatter. You can have a chocolate. You can have a phone book. I got a whooping with an orange racetrack, which is plastic. So you do your homework.
TV remotes.
No, see, we didn't have cell phones back in my day.
Oh, we had the brick ones, the ones that hurt way worse than these ones.
No, and then my mama
even the cordless one.
I had that one.
That one got thrown.
And
a
then
few
my
times.
mama was heavy-handed, so when she slapped you or hit you, it was a follow-through that hurt worse than the actual hit. So but I don't want to do nothing right now because that's child abuse. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, don't talk about that.
That's our brain back memories, man.
I have a suggestion for you.
Yes.
Not that I would. Literally just about the videos, and this is just me editing and thinking of all this stuff. I think have you ever because it's so funny. The sound quality is like it's from the camera of the one you posted. Is there any way to get the mic? And if there's not, I have an idea for you.
Now, what if I do another one? Because I used that one just for the show people.
I got you.
If I did another one, I would do the mic that you pin up in here.
The lapel mic.
Yeah, lapel mic, so you can hear me better.
Yes.
I mean, because some of my jokes probably didn't pass over as well because I was on the regular mic. And then you See,
they passed over well with me because I had headphones, but I tried listening to it later on without them and it didn't hit the same.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking of that. And if you have issues figuring that out, let me know. But there's literally, I have a lapel mic if you want it. Or you can just get one. And do you have an iPhone?
Yes. No, hell no, man. My credit ain't been good enough. I got
the other one?
Android.
Well, you can just plug it straight in there and put it in your phone and just hit record. That way your camera guy's recording, but you're also recording yourself.
Oh, wow.
And then at the end, it takes like 10 minutes. You just strip the audio and then sync it up with the other one. The computer does it for you.
Yeah.
And then you put it out where it still has the laughter of the crowd, but your voice from right here.
Yeah.
It will come out. Those clips will hit hard.
The beautiful part now is that the crowd's getting bigger. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, I think the ultimate challenge for me in comedy was to go to a place where nobody knew me. And I went to this place called Anthem, Arizona.
No one knows them either. I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it, bro. So I'm sitting out there, right? And I can say out of how many? Let's say 98% of them was white. So I'm out there, and the first thing
you second guessing those jokes.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I'm doing this.
Because like I said, once again, my mama said,
don't be anyone else.
Don't be anyone. Yep. Be yourself. If they don't like you for you. So I looked at the crowd and everything, man, and I was like, damn. Okay, I was like, well. Guess this is how OJ felt when he went to trial. And then they just bust out laughing,
That's
bro.
a hell of an open, man.
Yeah, so after that, I just did my jokes, and there was one guy there, a black guy, and he voted for Trump, right? So me and him was going back and forth, and I'm eating this guy alive.
Like in the crowd?
In the crowd,
okay.
Yeah, because I'm quick on my toes. And then there was another comedian on there, and I shouldn't have done this, but I don't care. There was another comedian on there. For some odd reason, he's built like the father from the Family Guy. And for some odd reason, he felt like he wanted to do a striptease for this girl up front. I'm talking about pull the shirt off, belly, all this kind of stuff, right? So in my mind, I had just wrote a joke right then.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got on stage and I said, hey, ma'am, listen, I know you didn't come to the comedy show to get a striptease from a dude that's built like Dunkin' Donuts, and then I saw him dancing on you. Now you got pink eye, and I feel bad. And I said, don't worry. I said, dude, somebody to the store to get some Monistat 7 for him because I know, he probably got a yeast infection. So I want to apologize to you first. And then there was another dude sitting at the table, and him and his dad looked like Skipper and Gilligan.
Oh,
so
Gilligan's
I started
eyes.
cracking on them, and so it's like I'm one of those guys, man. I can see something and make a whole joke out of it.
How do you do with hecklers? Do you go with it?
They don't come at me.
But if they did, would you go with it?
I would tear their ass up.
Okay, good.
Because once again, I have a big family. So when you have a big family, you have to be quick on your toes.
Yes, you're ready for some stuff.
I'm ready for it. They prepared me for battle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, come on, bro.
But some comedians won't address it. I've seen clips of people where they wait for them to get kicked out. But I love like Bill Burr's notorious for this. Other people where they're like, hey, this is part of the show now, and they just roast them. And I love that.
Well, see, this is a difference. There's so many different comedians. Like there's a bunch that's just well written that they can do written jokes.
I see what you're saying.
But then when you
they
get
may
them
not
off
do
script,
well with the
when
heckler.
you get them off script, they're like, oh.
So they're like, get this guy out so I can get back to my script.
And then they're going to go exactly, they're going to start exactly where they ended, or they're going to go back a little bit so they can come back this way. I'm not that guy.
I see what you're saying.
I'm like, you can crack jokes with me, and I'm going to crack jokes with you, but then I'm going to go to the show. But you know what? Let me ad-lib and get back to what I regular would do.
So you're good at segueing back, addressing it and then segueing back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I crack jokes even when you're not heckling me. It like when I was in Denver.
Like crowd work, right?
Yeah, crowd work perfect. This guy was dressed like Boys to Men. So I started heckling him, and then there was his table, and it was like 4 older white ladies, right? And I'm in the middle of my show, and I stopped and I pointed at the manager from the club. I said, "Y'all didn't tell me they was filming a Golden Girl reunion up in here." You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of comedian that I am. I'm that guy. Like I'm spontaneous, but I have my certain bits that I do.
Mm-hmm.
But if I think of something else on stage, I do it.
You just go with it.
I just go with it.
I want to go to one of your shows, man.
You're going to have more than enough opportunities to go to my show real soon. Segue.
Yeah. We're going to definitely talk about that. Before I forget, let's get this clip real quick.
Yeah, let me see this dude, man.
You won't watch all of it.
It ain't going to be nobody I know, is it?
You got to, I don't know. You're going to have to tell me, man.
Oh, man.
It's just some dude online, and I remember thinking, and we don't have to roast him, but I thought maybe even like, you can tell me what he's doing wrong because I see the best in it. And I'm like being completely honest. He was doing bad, but I feel like he was funny. Like the way he was talking, he just maybe got nervous.
But one thing you can say, he had the nerve to get up there.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can tell he tries to save it at one point. Yeah. And I'm like, God, like what is he doing wrong here? Because he seems funny. And so I was like, I saved it and I was like, I'm going to show Tommy Black when he gets
there. Ain't nobody I know.
All right. Well, if it is, we'll apologize.
Yeah, we'll laugh. Was there for?
I'm sorry. God damn it. Okay. Okay. So you ever look through the glass? And I'm sorry. I'm gonna reiterate this joke. You guys didn't laugh. Generally, I'm sorry. Did you see someone on the other side of the mirror? Not the mirror. It's the window. It's the window that you look through. You ever see someone you don't want to see?
Nervous.
Oh, he's very nervous.
I'm sorry about that. You guys want to hear a Tim Allen joke? Whew.
I just save it a little bit right here.
You know, Tim Allen went to jail.
Looks like he's gonna throw up, huh?
Tim Allen went to jail for cocaine once. Tim Allen started here. Topical humor.
I borderline feel really bad.
Sorry.
But see, this is when you should have the nerve to stop.
You just want to hear my Tim Allen impression?
This is when you should be like, you know what? This ain't my night.
I think he does start crying.
Is he crying?
So sorry. I'm sorry.
But you know, the sad part is that might be a bit that didn't work.
I really got,
Because he goes back to his normal voice.
I got 6 minutes, huh? Wow, okay. What's that? What's that? I have 3 more minutes. I have 3 more minutes left. Hey! Sorry. Anyway.
All right, we'll stop it right there.
Wow.
It seemed like he had something that he just totally abandoned, right?
But this is the classic version of you may be funny with your friends.
This is the exact guy I pictured, by the way, when I was talking about that earlier. The one guy that's like, I bet I can do that. I bet he said that to his friends right before he got on.
His friends encouraged him, like, dude, you're funny.
Yeah.
You know, and then jump on stage, and it's like when he was talking about the mirror and the glass or whatever, that stuff that's funny to you and your friends might not be funny to that person if you can't pull them into that story. See, what comedy is, it's the classic storytelling. Like if you watch Kevin Hart.
Love him.
Kevin Hart can put you into that scene. Like, remember the one he's talking about his dad, and he was a crackhead,
yes.
and he had a school program. His dad didn't have no drawers on.
But he paints a picture with everything, with words,
it's
actions.
Like Biggie. Biggie's a great rapper because Biggie can paint you a picture, and you could be like, damn, it was all a dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of comedy, when you can sit there and think of something. You know who else is good too, man? A dude named Tony Baker.
Never heard of him.
Tony Baker is very funny because he paints a different picture. And like with me, I paint that picture for you. Like I got this bit that I do at the end of my show, and I can't tell it right now. But
don't give the whole thing.
Yeah, but what it is, I paint you into that picture, and it's funny. Like when I go into the story, I mellow out,
Mm-hmm.
and then the whole crowd just get quiet, and then I'm walking you through what's going on with this sexual act between me and this female.
Okay.
I'll walk you through it till I hit to that climax part, and then when I hit that climax part, I can hear people like, "Oh shit!" And then you can hear people saying what I'm finna reenact before I got there because they figured it out. And then it's quiet, and then you start hearing the chuckles because people are starting to
feel it coming.
On. Yeah,
that's got to be a moment when you're a comedian where you know you got them.
That is the best part. And then I hit them at the end because one thing that I started doing lately, and I saw Jamie Foxx doing it, and it gave me an idea, so I started singing at the end of my show, or I start hitting these high notes because I got like a falsetto voice, so I can hit these notes. And it's amazing when people see you do that. I think it's bringing something else into the comedy stage because a bunch of people are funny, but a bunch of people ain't hitting those notes. And it makes me, in my eyes, in so many ways, and what other people say, stand out.
Yeah.
Because they say, yeah, man, this old boy that was singing, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when you know you got them, when people start quoting what you said on stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, remember with Kevin Hart? Oh, you going to learn today.
Yeah.
That's when you know you got them.
And then people are quoting that. They don't even know where it's from. That's how much it caught on.
Say it with your chest. You know what I'm saying? So he had so many quotes that you could say. And that's when I started having respect for Kevin. I'm like, God, dog, this dude got quotes. And that let you know that's a good stand-up comedy
I liked
show.
him in movies when he was in the scary movie ones and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's hilarious. I didn't even know he did stand up. I just knew him like as small little parts.
Right.
And then when I saw him doing stand up, just exactly like you said, he just kills it, man. He just puts you like you're there.
Yeah.
Where if you can't relate at all because due to a life, like you didn't live that life.
Yeah.
You will feel a little bit of it by the end of his story because he acts it out, he talks it out.
He's a great storyteller, bro.
He does.
And he, you can see Kevin 100 times doing the same show, and he's gonna say every word just like that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I can't do. I mean, if you see me 5 times, even if I do the exact same show, I'm never doing the exact same show.
I see what you're saying. That could be a good thing.
Yeah. In some ways, yes, but it's like I learned what hit. And I try to build around.
There you go. That's probably the best way to do it. Because the world, you don't want to be exactly. The world already has a Kevin Hart. Yeah. You know what I mean? We need to be something different. So I agree with you.
I'm always going to be Tommy Black, man.
There you go.
You'll know me. My bug eyes and then and my laugh. And then I got that country slur. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I say words that like, that ain't how you pronounce that. I don't give a damn.
That's what makes it funny, though.
Oh, man. So, yeah, man. So another thing, and that is one of the reasons also that I have decided to open up my own comedy club.
Tell me about it.
Well, I'm one of those people, when you don't give me a stage or you don't open up a door for me, I'm going to build my own doors. So I remember I did my last comedy show at Amador Live. And we sold out in 3 days, bro. I'm talking about tables, like it's packed. And then, as you get older, your business sense starts to change. And I don't enjoy myself now as much as I used to, because now I'm looking at the business side of the house versus just me going out and, let's wild out. No, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm looking at the business side of the house.
Yeah.
Because to me, we have to start living or leaving a legacy. We're not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
So one day I did that show at Amador, and then I started paying attention to all the food and the drinks that was on the table after the show was over. So even though we sold out, I started looking at that money. So I went and did a show in Phoenix, Arizona. And gentleman up there by the name of Sergio, man, my homeboy, he always was on me about like, man, you need to own your own club. He said, you're making money for everybody else, but what about making money for Tommy Black?
Mm-hmm.
So I pondered that thought, and then I remember I think D.L. Hughley came to town.
Guy's hilarious.
And I did some shows at the other comedy club, and I think the last one I did, I sold out on a Sunday. So I'm one of those guys that if I've already showed you that I can sell tickets, I want to be put in front of the D.L. Hughleys or whoever else you bring in town, because to me that helps me build my audience.
Yeah.
So when I don't get that opportunity, that's when this competitive gene come in me, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna play it like that. So of course I started looking around for a club. So I wanted to find a building, It's in El Paso, people. I wanted to find a building that was bigger than the other comedy club.
Okay.
I want to build a better ambiance than the other comedy club. I want to give more people opportunities at this club than they probably get at the other comedy club. Better sound system, better light system, better service, and I want to bring different comedians. I want to bring those comedians that you grew up looking at. You know what I'm saying? Like, say if I could bring a Kevin Hart, I'll bring Kevin Hart. And I don't want to say who I'm bringing because we're already in talks with some other people, and I know that, you know, in this business, I'm learning that you have to be quiet until everything is the contracts are written, because people will try to go behind you and take your ideas. So I'm not giving people the opportunity to take my ideas. But I think this club, when people see it, they're going to appreciate it, because I'm a comedian that's building a comedy club, not somebody who's building a comedy club. I'm a comedian that's building. So I take the best of what I've seen at different comedy clubs, and I want to bring it back here.
Yeah, and you know what you're talking about. You've been there, done that. You're not just a businessman. You're a comedian.
And then as a DJ, I have to give you that sound. You know what I'm saying? Because nothing's better than when you sitting there waiting on the show to start, and then my version of Kid Capri. Look at even the dog ready.
The dog's ready.
I got my version of Kid Capri in there jamming, and I think it's building a different ambiance. So when you're in my club, I want you to be like, damn, this is different.
Yeah.
You know? And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was actually going to say, and so what part of town is it at again?
It's on the east side, right off Zaragoza.
Are you guys open and doing shows?
Not yet.
Okay.
Of course, we had to go through the city and make sure they okay everything, because we're rebuilding what they already had there. And then, I didn't even know that the city had to okay you putting a sign outside.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So it's like all this stuff now. This is the part of the game that I didn't know. But I have enlisted people that do know. And now we're all sitting around putting our collective brains together. So now, knowing this business, if you don't have your I's dotted and your T's crossed, people look for your weakness. So we're giving you no weakness to look for. And, people making it a battle between me and the other club.
I feel like you might have stirred the pot a bit.
Man, I don't give a damn.
The reason why, let me try to think of the best way to say this, and I'll keep it pretty plain. I heard through the grapevine, through someone that I know that does comedy, and I'll leave them out of it just in case, that the people at the other club, is that what we're calling it? We don't want to use the name.
We do that.
The other club, they were actually told that they couldn't go over to yours, or else they could never go back. So I kind of I don't know if that's true. Have you heard anything like this?
I heard it.
Okay.
And you know what? And if it's true.
And this person is good source.
Credible?
Good source.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's true, I think that's very sad, because me being a comedian, unless you're paying me enough money not to go to other places to build, one, my craft, build my audience. Only way a comedian get better is they hit stages.
Yep.
So if you working for me, let's say my club is open, you working for me on, let's say, Tuesday and Wednesday. What you do on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, whatever, blah, 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 honestly, I have better things to worry about than that. I want you as a comedian to go find other spots to you jump on stage to get better. That's the only way you get better.
You would think that person also wants that. It's kind of strange that they would do something like that. But that's how I know you were stirring the pot a bit, because that's I think it's a little wild.
Well, actually, I think that's very selfish.
They're almost like the El Paso Electric of the comedy world, right?
Yeah. But my thing
for the
is
longest
this, though.
time, you have one option.
But if let's say you my boy.
Okay.
We ain't even got to be best friends. You're a comedian.
Okay.
Why would I close a door on you for no reason? Just because somebody, let's say, for instance, Walmart. Walmart is not finna tell people if you go to Target, you can't come over here and shop. Ain't nobody at the front of Walmart say, hey, let me check your receipt. Oh, Target, you can't come in here. Nobody does that. So show me in the Constitution of El Paso, Las Cruces, where there can only be one comedy club.
You know what it does show is that, because you're right, Walmart wouldn't do that because they're top dog and they're not threatened.
Right.
So who would do that? Someone who feels a little threatened.
And this is when you put your big boy draws on. If you have competition, it should make you better.
Competition is always good.
Yeah,
always.
You would think.
Always.
But if you're telling someone, if you go play over there, you can't come play over here, then what are you really saying?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's selfish. That's actually being a comedy club bully. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so who are you as an owner or a general manager, whatever you want to be, to dictate what other comedians can do when they're not at your club?
Yeah.
And how much are you paying me not to go over to that other club? Because to me, as a comedian, I tell every comedian, jump on as many stages as you want to. I, as the club owner of Crack Me Up Comedy Club,
There you go.
I am not into that politics shit. I'm not into that. I don't like, honestly, I think it's sad that a person who been in business as long as they've been in business would catch that attitude with someone who's trying to come up in this business. And since we're using Kevin Hart,
Yeah.
Kevin Hart was Kevin Hart because people gave him opportunity.
Yeah.
And, you know, just like I told Rob, when you jump on stage, you never know who's out there watching you.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to jump on stages. So for me to say, if you go work at over there, you can't come over here, man, that's me being a hypocrite. And I refuse to be a hypocrite, but that is one of the main reasons that I'm opening up this club. Because if you look at my comedy track record in this area, I've sold out almost every time, to include El Paso.
Mm-hmm.
And I can count on my hand how many times I've been over to that other comedy club. If I'm selling tickets, comedy is about selling tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like a record label. If you're not making hits, that record label gonna drop you. But
Yeah.
if you over there making these Drake hits, the record label like, man, what you need? New plane? You know what I'm saying? Because you bringing in people. Comedy is the same way. It's a hustle. So why should we knock people hustle because there's competition? I mean, that's sad, bro. If it's true, and if you say your man credible, and I've heard it too,
Okay.
I think that it's very sad for him to say that or to do that. And I think it's very piss poor on the scene, because how can your scene grow as far as comedy if people is cutting off their nose to spite their face?
Yeah. It's a bad move.
It is. And I'm so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna regularly have open mics. And when I'm having open mics, there's something that I'm setting up right now, and I might be giving away some of the stuff that I'm doing. But I know too many people in too many different areas for me to see, like, say you jump on stage and you kill it. So I'm gonna get on the phone and call my homeboys in these different areas and be like, yo, man, I got this cat down here y'all need to see. And not one time am I gonna say, hey man, let me be your manager, blah, 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 A, B, C, and D. The beauty of what I do is that I can watch you grow.
Yeah.
And be happy for you, genuinely happy for you. I want to see you grow. So for me to jump on the phone and call my boys or to text my boys, hey man, I got this cat you need to meet. And I recently did it for one of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I called a dude in Phoenix and I said, hey man, I got this cat down here, and I'm old school, so excuse my slang, but I got this cat down here that's good. And I want you to check him out. So I'm trying to connect them. Then somebody called me from Albuquerque and said, hey, man, we're finna open up this comedy place, blah, 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 on Sundays, and I want you to come down. Who do you want to open? Hey, man, I got this cat.
There you go.
That is good. Get in touch with him, bring him with me. And not one time have I told this dude, hey, man, you owe me so-and-so, so-and-so, because I'm making mine, so why am I going to take away from you from doing yours?
Yeah. So you were raised right, man. Some people have the thing in them, and I used to sell cars.
Yeah.
And you see it a lot in car sales where people are like, if you're the new person, they want to use you to get a car sale.
Yeah.
And so it's like, which is the opposite of how it should be. The older people should be helping the younger people because you know what it was like to be the younger guy and get your deal stolen or something. But some people don't have that, where they're just looking out for themselves because they're feared. When is my time up? When am I not going to have access to this? It's almost like an alcoholic that goes to a party and they're like, I'm going to drink all this alcohol because I don't know how I'm going to get more. I'm broke.
Yeah.
This may be all the alcohol I get. And if I drink it fast, that's less they can drink and it's more for me. It's like a weird thing. And so I think people have that thing where they just try to look out for themselves. But what people don't realize, and what you do, is the residual effects of helping people out.
Yeah.
Is like with Robbie or this person you're talking about now, like who knows where they're going to go with their DJ Amir.
Yeah.
Who knows who's going to give you give you a spot or give you some love or hook you up with something. And that's and then they're going to tell their friends, and then you're going to have this reputation of who you actually are. And that's going to mean way more than a moment you could have taken someone's shine or money.
But when you do it from the heart, it's a different feeling.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And then when I do stuff, it's from the heart, man. Because like I said, I've been blessed in so many ways. You know, from where I come from. You know, I got my second house I just built. Been to do the club, and the club is a multiple. I call it multiple statuses. One, we're gonna give something nice for El Paso because one thing about this area, this is too big of an area for people to ignore it. So why El Paso 800,000? Las Cruces, 120,000.
Yeah.
So we're talking about almost in this area, 1 million people.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the caliber of comedy that we get here, other than outside tours, you know, the Fluffies or whenever they come down, what are we really getting?
Yeah, it's true.
And you know what I'm saying? And so it's like,
well, we get Tom Segura in January. That'll be a fun one.
yeah. But the thing is, I'm not competing with him.
Yeah.
I'm competing with me.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, we're not trying to bring the same comedians, or before they start doing that underhanded shit, I'm not trying to bring the same people that you're bringing. I know who you're bringing. I'm smart enough to do homework on you, and you have your regulars.
Yeah.
I don't want your regulars. I want people that people haven't seen before or haven't seen in a while.
You're adding to the mix. You're not taking away from anything.
I'm making it better for the consumer.
Yeah.
Like you have a choice now. And if you want to be competitive, match my shows.
Yeah.
So if you match my shows, it makes it better for people in this area. But I'm not off into that underhanded stuff. And see, that's where I have to leave my Dallas, Texas, Oak Cliff stuff to the side.
Yeah.
Because only so much I'm going to take. Now, if you come at me professional, I'm going to be professional with you.
Yeah.
But I have no problem on cussing you out and telling you how I feel. Even as a CEO, you have to get to that point where there's only so much you could take. I think Austin Trout wrote something one day, and it was something like when you turn the other cheek, you're letting people bully you or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And don't quote me, but I'm one of those people like, I'm going to bring people who I've talked to you and this person, and everybody's taste in comedy might be different.
Yeah.
So why can't I bring different?
Yeah.
And then I built some great friendships with people that has called me. Like now, when you're a club owner, you start getting phone calls. And in America, the United States of America, it is less than 10 African-American comedy club owners in the United States. And now we have the opportunity for one of those to be in El Paso, Texas.
There you go.
And that to me is amazing if you think about, you know, some of the top-notch black comedians, you know, BET, Comic View, and all this other stuff. And then to think that it's less than 10 owners in the United States. And the person that really motivated me, man, is this gentleman named Nate Jackson. And I don't know if you know Nate Jackson, but I first met Nate back in Oakland. And I was doing this thing called the Bay Area Black Competition, and Nate had won the year before that he came down.
Comedy?
Yeah, comedy. And then I sort of followed him, and we did a show together here in El Paso. And then now he's actually playing the Junkyard Dog on The Rock's show. So Rock got a new sitcom on, I think, NBC.
Isn't it like him young or something?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So my boy Nate plays the Junkyard Dog. So he opened up a comedy club in his area in Washington.
Oh, cool.
So when I started watching what he was doing, it motivated me more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I started getting out looking for clubs. I mean, and then I was like, well, pandemic is here. And then I know a bunch of people shutting down. So every day, man, I was in El Paso driving around.
Perfect time to be doing scouting and getting ready.
Man.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. You know, and I'm one of those people, I'm in my car driving, I'm singing or facsimile thereof and having a good time. And I found a couple of buildings, but every one I said, no, this club needs to be bigger than his so I could build it up, blah, 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 A, B, C, and D. And then I found this building, and I was like, no, this building can't be true. And I found it on accident. And I was like, this building can't be true.
That's
and
how the greatest things happen.
Oh, my God. So I called the lady. I said, hey, man, my name is Tommy, and blah, 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 A, B, C, and D. And she said, yeah, I would love to show it to you. So the lady showed me the building, and my wheels just start spinning, bro. Like, I visualized how I want this club to look, from the green room to the stage, to the sound system, to the bathrooms. And then we're doing a full bar. So we got the full liquor, and we're doing food. My green room is going to be like when if one of these big movie stars come from out of town and they're in our green room, they're going to be like, damn, this is a dope ass green room.
That's smart because you want them to want to come back and tell everyone else too.
Well,
not everyone's thinking that far ahead.
It's smart because I've been to the other club and I've seen their green room.
So you know what not to do.
I know what not to do. Like your green room is like a damn closet. Like a broom would be upset if it was in your green room.
When someone says green room, can you, for me and for other people that don't know, can you kind of explain what that is?
Well, it's sort of like
and why do they call it the green room? 2 questions.
Second question, I don't know why the hell they call it. The first
screw that question.
Yeah, the first one is it's where the artists wait before they go on stage.
And what kind of is it like? What are they doing back? What are you guys doing back here?
Chilling, basically. Like when I did the big show at the Abraham Chavez, when I went in my room and they had a food tray, I actually had a shower in there, bathroom. It's like it's your
like a studio apartment.
It's like ooh. That's why I go in there, meditate, chill, and you with your people. And like say for instance, if Kevin Hart came down, you don't want to put him in the green room, and in the green room, look like a linen closet.
Yeah. Plus that guy has a bunch of people with him, I'm sure.
Yes. So you got to have room.
Yeah.
And then so now I'm making it, man, where I'm have TVs everywhere. You'll see my sign that they're gonna put up, man, 6 foot by 6 foot. I'm putting up a digital sign that's basically showing you who's playing tonight.
Okay.
It's gonna be, and then I got over $20,000 worth of sound system that's gonna be in that room. So if you've seen oh man, what's the Kings of Comedy? And that's what, go watch it. And if you watch, all the intros was the bomb because the sound system was dope. The lighting system was dope. So I want to give people that feel, and the way we're going to do it, we're going to basically give you an up-close appearance of all the comedians. So when they come in, you're going to be right there with them. And it's going to be a totally different ambiance, man. I got a great staff so far. So that's, man. So
what do you have left to do? Like, what's the process looking like? Do you have a kind of a target date?
Well, tomorrow it's a big meeting. We sit down because basically when you change the inside of a place, you got to put the blueprint up and get it okayed from the city. They got to come do their little inspection. So we're to that point now.
Okay.
So now once that point is done and okayed, so when they start construction to the end of construction, it's going to take 3 weeks to a month. So we're looking at probably late July, early August. But when they give me the thumbs up tomorrow, we're going to start signing contracts. So once we start signing contracts, then that's when we're going to start getting these major stars. I'm telling you, my first major star that's coming in town, me and him has done some dope stuff together. He's on Netflix and all this other stuff, and it's going to be outrageous. And then, then I'm working with Johnny Cage.
Okay.
I'm working with a couple of TV stations that we're going to do it. And then what I'm going to start doing is that every show we book, I want to start giving these up-and-coming comedians an opportunity to open up for these artists.
Yeah.
So that's the whole purpose of my open mics. So on my open mics, I'm scouting, like, okay, man, listen, I got so-and-so coming. Hey, I got you. I got so-and-so coming. I got you. But I want to give everybody an opportunity.
Yeah.
But when we do the round robin, is that when you blaze the open mic, I'm also going to give you an opportunity to perform in Phoenix, which is a whole different audience. Then I'm going to give you an opportunity to perform in Albuquerque, which is a whole different audience. And so that's what we need to start doing. And we got to start working together.
I was going to say, so you're doing the opposite, which is there's a plan. There's got to be a new goal, right? Like if you do well at here, you do this. If you kill the 2 minutes, you get your 5, you get your 10, you get whatever it is. And then you get to go to these other places too.
Well, on the other one, I'm just going to give them 5 minutes straight. If you can't kill for 5 minutes, I'm not going to say you need to find another profession, but you need to find another profession.
Is 5 normal for an open mic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Especially, and then I don't want to do a show or open mic where there's 50 people on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because after a little while, you start getting ear fatigue. So I want to give you, let's say a strong 10. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to do that, hey, you can't perform if you don't bring 10 people. And all I tell, comics when they're up and coming, build your audience. This game is about numbers.
Yeah.
You can be the funniest dude in the world, but if you don't have no followers, that's one way of saying you're not the funniest dude in the world. You know what I'm saying? But if you're in the El Paso, Las Cruces area, everybody I know do comedy got a big ass family.
Yeah.
If your family ain't come to see you, like my boy Mark Woods, right? Mark, every show I do with Mark, I don't know if they having a family reunion, but he done bought the mama, the grandmama fish, the turtle, everybody there to see that dude, man. And to me, I think that is dope as hell because if your family don't support you, you know what I'm saying? You're like, hold up, man. Like, y'all at home, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But when your family supports you, like, let Tommy Black go to Dallas, Texas and do a show.
Yeah.
My family by itself fills up the house. But then all the people I went to high school with,
they're going to bring their friends.
They bring their friends, you know what I'm saying? So we're having a family reunion, a high school reunion, you know, all the people from my neighborhood. And then this is the coolest thing about me, and this is what I think about at night. I have so many friendships that has lasted over decades.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you come on, you've been in cruises. Some of these girls, they still mad at each other from stuff
from
that
middle
they did
school.
in middle school. Like she hit me with a tether ball. I ain't her friend no more. You know what I'm saying? But I got one homeboy in particular, man, Roy Williams. Me and this man went to elementary school. We went to middle school and high school together. And as of today, we remain friends. He was a chief of police or something. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you never heard me, F the police, I'm not going to do this because my homeboys. You know,
Yeah, you get it. Yeah.
So me and this dude was sitting back one day and we were like, damn, man, we went to Birdie Alexander together, D.A. Halsey, Carter. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when you think of stuff like that, it says more about you as a person that you can keep friendships for that long. And to me, man, like, still, once again, that's all my mama, man. Like, that's that woman, you know, she had more of an imprint than I thought. But, like, I have a bunch of friends that I'll be like, man, we've been knowing each other for how long? Damn.
Yeah. That's, man, that's you for sure got it from your mom. That's what it is.
Yeah, man.
But you really value relationships, which is the way it should be, right? Because it's like nobody wants you should, when you were bringing up the whole, like, women will hold grudges forever, like, why is that totally happens with women way more than men, huh?
Yeah.
Like, well, they could.
No, let's be real, bro. Let's be real.
Guys usually get over it pretty quick.
No, but men are hoes too, bro. Like men are men are the new women, bro. Like honestly, no bullshit.
You're talking about the new era.
Yeah, the new era is, bro. When I go out now and I do a show, you got dudes that'll run over women to take a picture with me. I different. I'm simply like, yo, that's some hoe shit.
That's
wild.
Know,
that's why I call yeah, bro. So I'm looking at it like, yo, man, like the girl be pretty as hell. They be like, like, come on, dog, don't be doing that, man. You know, I mean, but in my position, I have to be like, all right, man. I say, hey, let me get this picture, you know, blah, blah, blah. But to me, that's just not me, bro. And I've met some crazy famous. I DJ for Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
In Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And you
sure you met some characters.
Man.
Yeah.
Bro, the dudes were worse than the women. And, you know, and Kevin is very well protected. I mean, because Kevin about this tall, bro. You know what I'm saying? So his people don't let you get close. So to even get close to Kevin, you have to be somebody.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, so I'm DJing for Kevin. You know what I'm saying? My boy called me. He said, hey, man, we got this after party for Kevin Hart at the Tropicana, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to DJ? I was like, stupid question. Yeah. So they sent me the plane tickets, the hotel. So, you know, Vegas, you can't check in before 3. So my plane landed at noon. So I go to the hotel and I say, hey, ma'am, I want to know, I know I'm here early, but can I check in, blah, blah, blah. She said, well, check-in's not till 3 o'clock, but what's your name? And let me check the reservation. So once they checked the reservations, they were like, oh, we're so sorry, Mr. Black. You can check in right now. Everything is paid for.
The demeanor changes.
Yeah, man, it changed 100%. And I felt like
you were with that group.
I felt like Eddie Murphy when he was on Trade Places. I was like, so you telling me this vase is mine? I can break it?
You should have just started asking for more shit.
I did.
I'm kind of hungry too. You guys got anything?
I did, bro. So they gave me this big ass, like Fred Flintstone, Tyrannosaurus Rex ass steak. And you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, it's crazy because every time I DJ in Vegas, I don't know why everybody feel like they want to put me on the top floors. I'm scared of heights.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Because when we did the Monterey Bay, I'll never forget this, man. I did the Monterey Bay, and to get to the place where we was throwing the party, you get in the elevator, and once the elevator go up, after you get past the second or third floor, the backside turns to glass, so you can see all of Vegas.
Oh, that freaks me out, man.
Nobody told me that, right? So everybody's in the.
Thank God. You wouldn't have gotten the elevator.
Oh no, I was walk. I don't give a damn. So we're going up the elevator. And my homeboys and them, they just bust out laughing. I'm like, what the hell? I thought like somebody farted or something, right? So all of a sudden I'm sitting here, we just talking. I'm like, yeah, man, like, whoa! And then I'm seeing like all of Vegas, bro. And I turned around and started staring at the wall. I'm scared of heights, man.
That's
I am
wild.
scared of. I would not do heights, and I would not do roller coasters.
I'll do them, but I regret them the moment I get on them every single time. But then I'll get on them again.
I embarrassed the hell out of my daughter, man. I think we said we went to Disneyland, and my daughter said, Dad, don't even worry about it. This is a baby roller coaster. Man, I'm screaming. Ooh, I'm yelling.
She set you up, man.
Yeah, she did. So we get off the roller coaster, my daughter take out running, right? I said, damn, wrong with you? She said, Dad, I'm so embarrassed. Man, I don't know none of these damn people. You better get your ass back here. Don't be leaving me here. So it's like, yeah, man. So I don't know. I'm a different character, bro. I'm a different character.
That's hilarious, man.
But so let me ask you a question.
Ask away,
so what
brother.
made you want to do this podcast?
I love this shit, man. I did music for a while, man.
Yeah.
I've always loved that. I'm that like funny guy in my group, but unlike the people who make you fun of, I get that stand-up comedy isn't the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
But I like talking, man. I grew up in a bad home, and I wasn't heard a lot.
Right.
And so my go-to was music at first, because I'm like, it's the one thing I can do, and people just have to listen, or they turn it off, right?
Right.
That's it. But they can't cut me off. And so I got really into music. I pursued that for a while. But I always liked conversations, like just kind of like what we're doing now. Because I love all types of different people. I don't really care, man. If you look at all the podcasts that I've done so far, it's so diverse, man. Every color, every gender.
Yeah.
I've had gay people, straight people on. Like, I don't care. If you have some interesting thing, I want to hear about it. And I was sitting at a bonfire one day partying, and everyone, kind of like what I just said, there's a Native American guy, there's a black guy, there's a short girl, a tall girl. And it was just so mixed.
Right.
And nobody cared. Like, everyone was just drinking, having fun.
Right.
And I'm like, what a cool moment. Is it the drinks? Is it the fire? Like, what is it? And so I was like, I want to recreate this a bit. That's why the intro to the podcast is like a bonfire. That's the kind of the vibe I was going for. And I just realized, man, I really love that. I love people. I love interactions, man. It's super hard to offend me. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, I love to joke. I could take a joke. And so I just want to do the podcast because it was my way of having a conversation and venting and talking and having that human interaction without going out and getting hammered or going out and making stupid mistakes or whatever. But I love it, man. I actually want to do radio at one point too, man.
Do it, bro. It's so much fun, man.
I have no idea how to even, not that I'm doing good at this. I love this.
Right.
But even back when I did, I didn't even know, like, how do you even start doing that? I always thought like, well, I don't want to DJ. I just want to talk. Well, is that a thing, by the way? Do people just talk?
It is, man. They got the talk shows. I mean, and then like say, for instance, me and Damien.
Okay.
Me and Damien was so different, man. He was so straightforward. Like, he could, hey, today it's going to be cloudy, but he owned it. Me, I'm like, man, it's gonna be hot as hell outside. You know what I'm saying? So we, and it was funny. Me and his
dynamic. When you have dynamics like that,
it was so different because me and Damien was the ultimate yin and yang. I mean, because he's that straight white guy from some little hick ass town in New Mexico. I forgot where you're from. You know what I'm saying? But it's over there by where the aliens at?
Roswell.
Yeah, he's over there close to Roswell, right? Here I am, Dallas, Texas, and we were so different, man. But we gelled so well because Damien used to reel me in sometimes. So sometimes I just go off the deep end, bro. And my goal was I'm going to make Damien laugh so hard on the radio that he's not going to be able to shut me up. And I did that a couple times. Like, people don't know in the studio, Damien used to actually run out the studio laughing. And he was like, I cannot believe you just said that, bro.
Now I got the mic to myself.
Yeah,
I win.
Like, you're done, bro.
I win.
And then they expanded my character on the radio. They came up with a thing called Ghetto Delilah. So I would give people advice, but I would do it like in a shenanigans. Oh, whatever, hey, I told and then that went over well. And I think the best show we ever done is I actually put my mom on the radio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I told her, I said, don't cuss, I'm on the radio. And then what happened is that Damien never believed growing up in Dallas that I had a pet goat. So he was
true story?
The true story. He's like, man, you had no pet goat. Man, you had no pet goat, And I said, I did. I said, call my mama. So we got on there, called my mama. And my mama just laughed, man. She got a sweet southern voice. And she was like, yeah, we had a pet goat. And Tommy named him Billy and everything. And
real original.
Yeah, real original. Yeah, I can think of that. But everybody in Dallas would walk their dogs at the park, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm walking through the goat. Everybody looked at me like, man, this dude crazy as hell. So everybody thought I was on crack. He must be on crack. He walking the damn goat. You know, I would talk to her. They'd go like, I was like, yeah, man, I told him don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We out the ice cream truck. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so one day I came home from school and I don't know what. Well, I knew now. I didn't know what my mom was cooking, but the whole house was smelling good as hell, bro. I'm like, ooh, we about to go in. And my mama cracking the hell up, right? So she did everything to make me not look outside. So at the time, she had a Jamaican boyfriend. They killed my goat.
I was nervous about that.
They killed my goat. But I ain't gonna lie.
Wait, did they cook it?
Cooked the hell out of it.
Is that good?
Man, I shouldn't even cry on this show. But man, that goat was good as hell, man. I was like, man, I'm sorry you gone, but damn, you were good. You know, I had some bad stuff happen in my life that has hurt me. I remember, man, and I know my niece gonna get mad at me for telling this story, but I had this bicycle. I was in love with it, man. It was a blue and yellow BMX bicycle, bro. It was like I get home from school and
gotta check
man, that bike everywhere. It's like liners in this blanket, man. It was me and the bike, man. We jumping curves, doing wheelies, everything, man. Then one day, I came home and the mood was sober. I didn't know what was going on. I started looking around the house. Something didn't feel right. I'm looking in the closet like something wrong. So I said, you know what? Something wrong. I'm gonna go get away on my bike. I go back there where my bike usually parked. And it's gone. I started crying, running around the whole neighborhood looking for my bike. Then my niece running the house. I'm wondering where she got this $5 from.
Oh.
I said, where you get that money from? She said, I sold your bike.
$5?
She sold my bike for $5, man.
What'd she need the $5 for? It better have been something good.
Man, no, she sold the bike. The dude said, I'll give you $5 for that bike. Gave her $5.
So she didn't even need the $5.
No,
that
man,
dude sold her
bro,
on the idea of the $5.
Man, honestly, that's... I ain't forgave her. I have not. You know what? I finally forgave her, man. But I'll never let her live that story now. She sold my bike for $5. It was a BMX. It was blue and yellow, man.
That's hilarious.
And I will always love you.
Rest in
Man, I
peace.
love that bike, man.
Rest in peace,
Yeah,
BMX.
rest in peace, man. My
Did you
bike.
name it? Does it have a name?
Yeah, BMX.
BMX.
Yeah. It was the puppet dog. It was the
DMX's
puppet version
cousin?
of DMX. Man, I was like be pounding. That dog, hey, that bike was off the chain, man. Oh man, that hurt me, man. That right there hurt me, and I have never lived that down, man. But I love my niece, man. She's the bomb. She still laugh at me, but it's cool. It's cool.
You should find out what she spent that money on, man.
I know what she spent on ice cream, man. As soon as the ice cream truck came, I got me a push up. I had me push up the orange with the orange sherbet.
The original, the Flintstones one, right? Yeah.
Oh my God, bro! I remember the snow cones, and they had the one snow cone with the little bubble gum at the bottom. Ooh, and the bomb pops. Look, man, I'm reliving my childhood, man.
Do they still do? I see ice cream trucks every now and then.
Man, one ice cream truck. I was at the radio station. One ice cream truck playing Tupac. I was like, who the hell jamming Tupac?
I dig it.
Yeah, it was like, how do you want it? I said, that is the dude playing the...
And that's the song to put on, too.
Yeah, hey, it's original,
Just trying to give out ice cream.
It's original. But you know what else I miss a lot, though, man? I think one of the biggest things I miss is the interaction that I used to see people give me when I DJ. I think, like, when I look back at Hurricane Alley, man, and those crowds, and when you play a certain song, man, and people lose their mind, and then, you know, it's like you see people run out the bathrooms when they song come on. And to have people party like that, man, that I miss a lot.
So you're not DJing right now? You're not doing gigs anymore?
No, I'm still doing gigs, but very sparingly.
Okay.
I mean, because I done gotten to that point now, man, where I think it's so easy for any DJ to go in and play the hottest song. Like anybody can play, you know, Cardi B's greatest hits or Megan Thee Stallion.
Everyone's gonna dance to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but now is the creativity part to me is what's fun, and then I'm sort of set back in my ways where, you know, I want to hear my Biggies, I want to hear my Tupacs, I want to hear my Wu-Tangs and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, I'm more off into the vibe now versus playing like the hot. You know, I gotta play Back That Ass Up. Like, no, I don't. If I don't want to, and if I do, I'm gonna back that ass up and I'm gonna throw a acapella over the beat, and I'm gonna change it up myself.
I was gonna say, if you do it right, you can definitely play an old school rap song, but in a more modern way. It kind of hits. When I go to clubs and they do that, I'm like, what a cool spin on this song.
Yeah, but DJing has changed so much, man. Like honestly, man, like I watch Jazzy Jeff a lot, and just to see him vibe, and he don't have to play the latest, hottest songs, and he introduced a bunch of records. Because if you look at DJs these days, man, we used to be big on breaking records. Like this, oh man, this jam came out. Ain't nobody jamming this now. I'm finna go play this song.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
but now everybody plays safe. Like, hey man, Megan Thee Stallion, you know, how can you go wrong with Drake?
Yeah.
You know
Literally any song.
Any song. I mean, the dude was the artist of the decade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Rightfully so.
But what if you go break, like, what's my man name? DJ Sana, right? Local cat. Like, say you go break his song, and then all of a sudden you watch his song blow up. Like, I remember one of the first songs that I broke, and if you go look on the album cover, you'll see, you know, shout out to DJ Black, is when Sierra came out. I got the test pressing of Goodies. And I started playing Goodies, so I was recognized in my area for breaking that song.
Really?
So I used to, yeah, and even though
is that how it works? If a artist really wants, do they just send it out to all the DJs all over the world, but it's up to them to play it or not?
Is that how you got to figure out what DJs can make an impact.
So these artists are picking specific people.
Yeah, or their record label is.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
And then once you get cool with the record labels, and see, like back in the day, this is back in the day. Back in the day, you had a playlist that you had to play, or you had to stick to. So between that playlist, you can have, as we call it, a familiar sandwich. Like I would play a Biggie or Tupac, but in the middle, I'm finna play this new Outkast.
Gotcha.
You know, so when record labels notice that you're doing that, because they have this thing back in the day called, I don't know if it's still around, but it's called BDS. So they could detect when you played that song. So they would get a sheet every week, and they'd be like, hey, man, the people at Hot 103 played, you know, the new Baby Bash or whatever, you know. So then it's inclined for them to reach out to you and say, hey, man, how you doing? This is so-and-so at such a record label, man. I got this new jam I want you to hear. Then they start showing you love. They start sending you shirts and all this other stuff. And you start, of course, once again, building relationships.
Yep.
Once they know you break records, they're more inclined to work with you when it comes down to the new stuff.
So is that what happened with the Sierra song? They reached out to you and you started playing it a lot?
As soon as I got it, it was the beat, you know, because Lil Jon had those beats that you'd be like, ooh.
Lil Jon did that beat?
Yeah, he did that beat.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
So he did that beat, and you're like, oh, man. And, you know, Lil Jon was always one of the Southern DJs' favorite, because Lil Jon always had those songs that, you know, if you go look back in his early part, he used to be on this record label called Itchy Bond Records. You know what I'm saying? So it's not Jive, and it's not all this other stuff. And he had his first cut was called Who You With. And I still play it today, man. And it's like, who you with? Who you with? Who you with? Get crunk. And that beat, and then when you're in the club, you're like, oh man, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Then I was a Lil Jon fan. And then when Sierra came out, of course, they sent a picture of her because she's beautiful. And I said, well, let me see what she about, man. And I started listening to the song, and I was like, oh, damn. As soon as I got it, I said, I'm finna jam this today. So I went on the show, threw it on. And I said, hey, man, tell everybody this the new Sierra, whatever, blah, blah. And that's a brand new Sierra. Only place you can hear it here, blah, 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 A, B, C, and D. And then once they start seeing that, they start getting popular in our area, then all of a sudden it's like, now let's show some love to DJ Black, because he going to break records for us. Instead of us sending him the new Drake, which we know everybody's going to play, we're going to send him the new, you know, Little Bonehead. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to jam a Little Bonehead.
That might be a real guy, by the way.
Yeah, it is. But think about it. But then once the songs get popular, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, man, this dude helped us out.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the way, you know, so now that's why I want to break records, man. Like now.
What's a common theme with you? You had the same mentality when you were talking about your comedy club just now.
Same thing, bro.
Yeah.
I want to help.
Yeah.
I mean, but right now I'm off into the vibe, man. Like honestly, I'm late in the game, but I'm off into the Jay Dilla beats. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting here listening to the beats, and I'm like, yo, this is like funky as hell. So I'm at the house like, oh, man. And now on my show, I do a show called In the Kitchen with DJ Black, where I show love to 90s and 2000s R&B and hip hop. But every once in a while, man, I get that cut, and I'm like, yo, this is the jam. So people don't see, I'm in the studio vibing, man, like, oh, man, I'm singing along and everything. And so I'm hoping and praying that other people are vibing with me. And then when we get the, you know, the ratings, I'm like, damn, they are vibing with me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, now I need to give you more. Since I know you listening, let me start doing some more homework. So now other radio stations are hearing about the show. So now I'll be in negotiations next month to take the show that started here up to Albuquerque.
Nice.
So now Albuquerque get the vibe with me again.
So when you say show, is this a live show on the internet? Where can people find it?
Well, I'm on Hot 103.
Okay.
But if you go to www.hot103.fm at those time frames, you get to hear the show no matter where you're at.
I see what you're saying.
Like my sister in Colleen, she vibe with me every week. And then my niece, the one that sold my bike, I ain't gonna cry again. So she listened to the show and she was like, damn, hey, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, once I start getting that and, I get the Facebook posts and the people talking to me on the street and it's like we own to something.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing all the songs that you can sing along with. You know what I'm saying? You rolling, you like, what? Hip, hop, hip it to the hip hop. You like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So I want to give you that vibe when you rolling like, oh man, I remember when that song came out, the apple bottom jeans, the boots with the fur, when that song come out, and then I go back to my days when I used to pop lock. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do something for the breakdancers. So I'm gonna play you some Planet Rock, Play at Your Own Risk, Clear, Numbers, Tour de France and stuff like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like now we get to look at this giant umbrella of music from that era, and I get to give it to you.
So this is a segment on Hot 103?
Yeah.
And what time does it normally play?
5 o'clock until 8 o'clock.
So are you still doing that regularly? Are you doing other
Every
stuff?
Sunday.
But you're doing just that segment, or are you doing other stuff with Hot 103?
That's it. That's it for right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if it expand later, I mean, I'm that guy that I know my position.
Yeah.
And, it's like the station then went in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still over here, so I'm not trying to be the old, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be the old cool guy that you sitting there old as zoo dirt, but you at an 18 and over club, sitting there looking at these little young girls, you know what I'm saying? And then
trying to blend in.
Yeah,
don't act weird. Don't act weird. Oh, you're doing it. You're doing it.
Like, then you in there covering your gray hairs up with, with shoe polish or whatever, then asking the little girl, hey.
Wearing your mask still?
Yeah, with the Bluetooth, you know what I'm saying? Because old dudes got this way of talking to girls, man. I don't know why they voice change when they meet the younger girl. Like, hey, baby, hey. Why old dudes? Hey, baby, listen. Let me tell you something. What's your digit? Like when you ask a girl for her digits,
when the girl walks away, he's like, yeah, I got her number.
Yeah, or the girl say, what the hell is digits? You know what I'm saying?
Good
like
point.
nobody. Yeah,
no,
so
people
it's
don't talk like that anymore.
So I don't want to be that guy, man. And plus, my daughter checks me. If I say a word that an older guy a dad shouldn't be saying, my daughter be like, Dad, come on, man. Yeah, she did her graduation. Come on, Dad, you shouldn't be saying that, man. You ain't lit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't out, Dad. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hold up, wait, hey, I'm your dad. Like, what the hell you talking about? I turn to the old guy, I'm like, hey, wait, hold up, baby, don't be telling me that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's cool. When I see Rob, when he first started, and to see Rob now, I think that's dope.
Yeah.
To see some of the comedians that I work with when we first started working together, to see where they're at now, I think that's dope.
Yeah.
And I'm that guy, man. It's funny because I never knew I did this, right? I'm that guy that when you're on the stage and you're doing your comedy and you come off stage, I walk over and give you constructive criticism. And I never noticed I did that till I did a called into a podcast in Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude said, yeah, man, I'm going to tell you how black he is. And I never knew I did that, man, because it's just so natural. I want to see people win, bro.
Yeah.
Like if I could help you win, and I'm not going to go up there and say, hey, man, I ain't going to lie, man, your show was bullshit. I'm not that guy, man, because who am I to determine what's funny to the next person?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but you could read a room, and so some I guess it matters to the person, right? Because I'm one of those guys that I think I need to be told straight up. Because, like we just said, I'm not easily offended.
Right.
So if I was a comedian who got off stage and you told me that, I would immediately lock in. I go, okay, tell me more. I would listen to you more. So I guess it depends on the person, right?
It's funny that the person that said that, he said that's what I told him. Hey man, read the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll say his name. It's my boy Buck. Up in the Albuquerque, and then we did a show together, and it was older people in the crowd, like, you know what I'm saying, like civil rights leaders and shit. And he was like, "Oh man, yeah, the girl sucked my dick and blah blah blah," and it was funny,
but not to those people.
But the crowd, you can see them like, you know what I'm saying. So when I talked to him later, I said, "Hey man, one thing you need to do is read the room. You still can do the joke,
yeah,
but
Well, you could even turn that into a joke.
Yeah.
Like now you enjoy, like, yeah, you obviously get offended by when I talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all don't hear cuss words. You don't want to hear cuss words. Like you could turn it into something different, right?
Yeah,
when you address it, people kind of think that's funny sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
and I always
busted.
do. And I always do. Like if somebody laughing their ass off in the club and they making me laugh, I'm like, God damn, I'm taking you everywhere I go. And then I did a show in Phoenix, right? And I don't know why the people that I came with, like the girl had on this fur coat, right? And
Phoenix?
Yeah, in Phoenix, right? Now Phoenix so damn hot. When I got to Phoenix, I saw the devil at 7-Eleven. He told me he was going to Denver. That's how hot Phoenix is, right?
Phoenix is pretty bad, man. She must have really liked that coat, man. Bro, you wasting water, man.
Hey, man, let's go. Hey, we live.
We're in a recession.
So, yeah, like I peed on myself. So, they were sitting on the side of the stage, right? So, I'm getting on stage, and I still, like, laughing. I was like, and everybody, me and my boy was backstage, and he was like, man, what you laughing at? I said, man, her fur coat is killing me, man. So, I was like, well, how am I going to put this in my show? So, I'm like, man, thank y'all for having me out here to Phoenix, Arizona. This is my first time doing the show at this club, whatever, blah, blah. Thank y'all for the love. And I said, to be honest with y'all, I didn't even know they had this many black people in Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? So we already laughing, right? And I said, I feel like I'm at a family reunion. So we cracking up, right? And then I said, the dope part about this show is that y'all bought the Queen and King of Zamunda. So the Coming to America popped in my head. So I did the whole Coming to America skit. We laughed so hard for like the first 5 or 10 minutes of the show, and I never even got into the show yet.
Oh, Jesus.
So I had already set the tone. And I think the guy we looked at, when his first joke bombed, that set the tone for him. And after that, he was like, I'm up shit creek without a paddle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why the rest of the jokes just did like this. And after a little while, man, you got to get to the point. You're like, abort. You got to get out of it, bro. You like can't keep going because they tell you got 3 minutes. Doesn't mean that you need to keep your ass on stage for 3 more minutes because that seems like the longest 3 minutes in the world. If you're bombing like that on stage, it's nothing.
Like microwave minutes.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It feels like 10.
NBA basketball at the end of the game.
True. All the timeouts and stuff.
Yeah, all the time.
You ever stare at your ramen?
You're like, oh, my God, bro. Like, you're still going? So you have to know when to stop. Even one comedian told me this. Actually, it was Pops from Friday. I did a show with him.
Oh, nice.
And then he said, when you get that high laughter, it's okay to stop on a good note. Because if your laughter is here and your next laughter goes down to here, you took away from your show. He said, so it's okay to stop at its high. And I was like, wow, that's dope.
Yeah.
And I started thinking that, bro, because there was times that I would get some laughs, and some laughs make people continue. They're like, oh, I got to laugh. I'm going to keep on going. But once again, there's rules in comedy. Every comedy club you go to will tell you to obey the light. Because they light you up when it's time for you to stop.
That's the 3-minute mark you're talking about?
Yeah, well, kind of what show you're on.
Okay.
But they usually light you up a minute before your time is up.
And when you say light you up, is it like a flashing light?
It's a flashlight.
That you can see?
Yeah,
okay.
They'll tell you, like, the light's going to be over here.
Okay.
So make sure you pay attention to the light and see. And one of the policies that I'm going to have in my club, because most of the shows are timed. If you go over your time and keep going, all of a sudden you're going to look up and music playing and your mic's cut off.
Yeah, they're going to play you off.
Well, we got to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, with the Sandman.
They do at those award shows when they just talk too much. I like to thank Jesus and my friend Kevin and my third grade teacher.
Oh, my God. And then the lady at the mall that did my nails this morning.
She changed my life.
Oh, my God.
And they just start playing music.
I owe so much to her. Y'all don't understand how much I love her. And then the girl who had the nappy wig, you are my favorite girl. You are my inspiration. I'm like, no, her wig is nappy. If you bought a nappy wig, then something is wrong with you. You spent your money on never mind. But yeah, man, so
they get played off pretty much.
Oh, man. So I'm going to cut your mic.
Yeah.
And like I said, I am a comedian's comedian. I feel like I have to give everybody an opportunity, especially if you were not afforded the opportunity before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like this. I'm telling you, man, this is a weird dynamic being a club owner. I mean, people talk to you different. I'm still Tommy Black, man. I'm not gonna change. I know right now what I'm trying to build is generational wealth.
Yeah.
So I can have something to leave over for my daughter, but for me to be able to employ different people or a bunch of people is so dope to me, man. Like I started calling my friends that I knew was about their business, like, yo, man, I got this new adventure I'm finna jump into. I want you to be on my team.
Mm-hmm.
So now all my friends that I trust and believe in started rallying around me. And even stuff I didn't know, they would tell me, and then I suck up knowledge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I did not know that, blah, 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 A, B, C, and D. So now if you were sitting around just chilling, I'm picking up the phone and saying, hey, man, I got something for you. And I got people coming on board, man, to when this thing open, man, I want it to be someplace that you can take a date to and don't be embarrassed. Because I'm not going to call no names, but if I take a woman on a date and I'm trying to impress her, and I open up the menu and I see this place is selling Snickers, lemon heads, you know, I'm a grown ass man.
Yeah.
Why am I going to sit somewhere I'm trying to impress whoever, and they got Boston baked bean and Annihilators and Starburst? Like, come on, man. We adults. So you going to tell me an adult club is sitting here like they a candy house? Come on, man. Get out of here with that, bro.
Yeah.
That and to me, if you have that representation and you're from out of town and you see that, that's how you see this area. This area is so much more.
Oh, this must be what they do around here. That's how it's going to be.
Well, in the immortal words of people back in the day, that's ghetto.
Well, also, if you're going to be serving alcohol, there's foods that go really well with alcohol. So business-wise.
If you did your homework.
Yeah, exactly. If business-wise, it's smart to have certain foods, right? No one gets drunk and wants candy, at least no one that I know. Everyone wants tacos, burgers, anything with cheese on it. Green chili.
I ain't never went to a place as an adult that served candy. If
I'm trying to think. Just a movie theater?
Yeah, that's it. But if that's the case, then you might well put a vending machine out front.
Yeah, that's true.
So, of course, basically saying I'm not going to have any candy at my place.
Yeah.
But another thing we're going to do too, man, is I'm pushing my head bartender to come up with different drinks every week that can be a special.
Name some after comedians or something.
I mean, see, I ain't trying to give up my stuff because I'm
just guessing, man.
I look up another club naming their drinks after comedians.
I got ideas, bro.
Well, yeah, I know you do, but I'm talking about people that be stealing. No. People, they be stealing. They be like, "Oh man, he said this." You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't be surprised. Well, no, I know they got people watching my page, man.
Oh yeah, you've already ruffled some feathers, man. We covered this.
Damn, they feathers. You know what I'm saying? I look at it this way, man. I am too busy to sit back and react. When you react, you're already behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
You got to be fast forward. But my thing is this. If you've been in existence since 1985, you can't think in 2021 as you did in 1985. Times has changed.
Yep. Agreed.
You know, once again, you can't ask nobody for their digits. You know what I'm saying? Technology done changed. And you can improve whatever you want to, the decor, but you can't improve the atmosphere. My mama said, you can always tell a leopard by his stripes. It never changes stripes. I'm naturally down to earth. So I'm always going to be me. I'm a Russell Simmons, my place. Hey man, thank y'all for coming. Have a good time, blah, blah, blah. But if you got something wrong with my club or you didn't like, come straight to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to do whatever I can do to fix it, because this ain't a club for me. This is a club for people for this area. Because I feel personally we need it.
Yeah.
Because one, I watch what people do, and I feel like not every time a black comedian come to town that there have to be a black person that open. Or every time a Mexican comedian come to town, it got to be a Mexican person. Why can't it be just somebody that's funny?
Yeah. If you're funny, you get spot.
If you're funny, you get it. And that's the way I'm going to run my club. I don't want to think, oh, man, the black guy coming. Let me scramble and find some black comedians. Like, how many black comedians that's good that's really in this area? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have to stop thinking like that. What's funny is funny. But I also equate what's going on to a town that has one radio station. If you're a town, let's say Midland, Odessa, let's say you got one radio station, they're going to force feed to you what they think you should hear.
Yeah.
But I want to come in like satellite radio. I want to come in and be your Shade 45, play some stuff from here or play some stuff from there. and give you a different taste of what it is, because I don't think nobody should force feed you what they think is funny. I think this funny, so now, since y'all ain't got no choice but to go nowhere else, y'all gonna think this funny.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. If you come up to me and say, yo, man, I saw this dude on the internet. He was killing it. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back on the internet and I'm gonna look at him like, yo, that dude killing it. Hey, homeboy, because
Reach
right
out
now,
to this guy.
yeah, but the times has changed. I mean, these internet TikTok guys have millions and millions of followers. So how do I know that some of those millions of followers ain't from this area?
Yeah.
It's
almost, some of them have to be, right?
Yeah, it didn't change, bro. It didn't change. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, we can't get the Fluffies no more, because Fluffy is to that point where he don't need to do a comedy club.
I don't even hear about that guy anymore. Is he still doing stuff?
Yeah, he's finna come back now.
Okay.
But he's in theaters. He's that big. Like, when you get that big.
Yeah, like Kevin Hart.
Yeah, like
these
Kevin,
guys
like,
are just doing giant
Kevin Hart
theaters.
would probably pop into a comedy club if he's trying out some new material.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I mean, and then he will go to LA or somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But we never know. What if he's driving through this area and say, hey, man, I need a comedy club. So if I make my comedy club that dope-ass comedy club, then they say, hey, man, they got this dude that owns this comedy club, the Crack Me Up Comedy Club. Let's go over there.
Yeah.
So when Kevin walked through, I'm not embarrassed of this area, or I'm not embarrassing this area by the way my club looked.
Yeah. No, I think that's super smart. The social media thing you're talking about is super important, because people forget to, like, again, grow with the times. And that's you can do so much with social media. That's what I'm learning and figuring out and stuff. Like, even from people younger than me helping me out. TikTok
ain't that weird,
recently
bro?
got on it.
Ain't that weird?
Yeah, but it's you have to be smart enough, kind of like what you said, to know, like, hey, this is what I'm good at. Whatever I'm not, I need to get someone who is, as opposed to me trying to figure everything out. Like, you're going to be running a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
You can't be trying to figure out everything.
Man, that's why you got daughters.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Kind of like how you said. Yeah,
like the TikTok shit.
It's
Instagram,
so popular
right now.
Yeah.
Instagrams, you know what I'm saying? And all this stuff is like, you got to have it.
Do you know?
But you got to know how to work it.
Do you know who Andrew Schultz is?
Come on, man. Don't be getting away with my business, man.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Andrew Schultz is. I think what he did with those YouTube bits specifically. Yeah. Obviously, he does a bunch of other stuff. He does a podcast now, a ton of stuff. But before all that, he would do just these clips of him going to clubs. And it was almost like a reality show. His boys would follow him. He would do stuff. He would do his show and then walk out and talk about the show. And he just put up these clips. And the way he used social media to just promote himself, he got so popular. His crowd work is amazing. And then now he has his own podcast. And his ability to do bits, like these little clips that lead into the next clip and to get people to stay watching on YouTube, that was genius, man. He really kind of mastered that.
Well, I think one thing that helped me out, man, is like being cool with people, because it's funny because somebody sent me a message about him last week.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm getting so many messages like, hey, you should check out this person. You should check out this person. And see, to me, as a down-to-earth club owner, that's dope, because I would have never heard, and probably, of these people if people didn't inbox me to look at these people.
Yeah.
And so I sit back and I ask questions. I ask people, hey, man, who you want to see, blah, 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 A, B, C, and D, because I know my comedy is different from yours.
Mm-hmm.
But that don't make me the end-all, be-all.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that guy like, oh, you know what? Y'all going to watch me and only me, you know, because my boy was like, man, you going to jump on stage? I said, yeah, every blue moon. But I want to see, it's enjoyable to me to sit back at the club and watch other people laughing.
Yeah.
And then when they leave, you know, to watch all these selfies and all this other stuff, you know, and they make these videos. See, to me, that's what it's about, when those people leave and they feel like they had an experience.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, when they leave, they come to you and like, yo, man, this was so dope. Because I've had, man, I'm telling you, if people could see the conversations that I actually have with people, because I'm that homeboy that you can run into at Walmart or Pickwick or Best Buy, and you could talk to me and we can have a conversation like we've been knowing each other for years, because I never feel like I'm no better than nobody else, no matter what my, you know, DJ Black, you know, DJ of the Year and all that kind of stuff. Man, when they first told me I had won Sun News DJ of the Year, I had to ask them what the hell they talking about. Ernesto said,
you didn't even know that was an award?
No, I didn't. And I said, he's like, man, you know, we had our meeting, and he said, man, I want everybody to put their hand together, man. DJ Black just won the DJ of the Year award for Sun News. And I looked, I said, hey, what the hell is that? And then
They
they
come
were
with any money?
yeah, no, actually they told me it came with a free plate of food, right?
Oh, that's enough.
Yeah,
I'll
so
take
I
it.
was like, what? Okay, at the farm and ranch. I'm out there eating people. I said, hey, and I would get on hell, you gonna eat that? You know, I'm taking people food, man, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, I was like, I want to win next year because y'all got some good food. You know, I was like, thank you, Marcy. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I looked at it. I'm not looking at it like, man, hey, I'm DJ Black. Don't talk to me. Don't, talk to me. You know, I want some Grey Poupon. Man, I don't give a damn about all that, bro.
You're still a dude that lives in the community, too.
Bro, at that time, I was living in Vista, Montana. And my dumb ass didn't even know.
Another white place, man. You're Oklahoma, Montana, man.
No, I'm talking about the apartments in town.
Oh, I thought you meant literally in Montana.
No, man, run me
Where's
out.
an apartment's called Vista, Montana?
Yeah, it's called Vista, Montana. And then, I didn't know that it was low income housing. I didn't know.
How'd you even go there? You just walked up?
It was weird, bro, because I knew the manager and I needed a place to stay. And so she gave it to me. And then the walls were so thin, bro, like I could sneeze and the person behind me would say, bless you. That's how thin the wall was, bro. Like it was bad. But people didn't know that's where I came from.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and then my boy Lonnie worked at Aaron's.
Okay.
So he would hook me up with furniture.
Yeah,
furniture, TVs and stuff like that, man. So it's like, I scrambled, man. I started putting that stuff together, man. Then all of a sudden it's like, I wanted to buy a car. I remember this. And I was working at Hurricane Alley, but I was, it wasn't like, I was reporting the money from the job, but I tried to figure out a way to report the money from Hurricane Alley. And I ended up getting myself in trouble with the taxes because I was making so much at Hurricane Alley that I had to pay the taxes on, and I didn't know nothing about taxes and stuff, man. But I couldn't buy a car because it was like non-reported income, and I owed to IRS. Nobody wanted to touch me.
Yeah.
So now, man, I had an ex-girlfriend at the time, and she started pulling my ear like, yo, you need to do it like this, blah, 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 A, B, C, and D. So I learned from her, and then I started taking it. Now, man, I'm trying to build an empire, bro.
There you go, man. Well, you're heading in the right direction, man. You've done a lot of stuff, and you're doing a lot of stuff. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. People don't see it, though.
They will.
I do. I love, one thing I will say, man, I will always love like Las Cruces. I wanted to do my comedy club here, but at that time when I wanted to start it, the liquor license prices was.
I always hear bad stuff about the liquor license here, like the
they,
rules and
whoever thought of it, they ass whooped.
You're like literally the second or third person this week to tell me that.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't do it, man. I mean, like they were like, yeah, man. So what you got to do is you got to donate your first child $250,000 and then stand in line. I'm like, wait, hold on.
We'll give you one bottle.
Yeah. And then when you do get your liquor license, we're gonna do everything we can do to take it away from you.
Yeah, we'll have a cop right outside trying to.
Man, bro, Slavens, that was his name. He used to sit outside the door at Graham's, Hurricane Alley, everything, and I'm simply like, do we have nothing else better to do than to give people liquor license and try to figure out how to take them away?
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, but now, El Paso, I go there. They charge me for a liquor license price. I kept my daughter. You know what I'm saying? It adds up after a little while because you start spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get this thing together.
Mm-hmm.
But to sit there one day and just have a dream and then to watch your dreams play out in front of you, it's something that you have to live it to understand it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, hey, man, me and my brothers used to sleep in the same room and then my sisters and all this other stuff. And now to sit here and live in my new house off Mesa Grande and then watch this building go up. And it's a dream, man. And I'm going to dedicate my first show, a grand opening, to my mom. Because I know if she was here, she'd be proud of me. My oldest brother, Junior, he said when we figure out what's the opening date, he said, and this was so dope to me, and I never told him this, that he was going to rent a van or a SUV. And most of my comedians on my opening show is coming from Dallas. So he wanted to drive them and drive the family down so all of them can be here for the grand opening.
That'll be wild, man, and rowdy.
Hey, it touched me, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to see my family make that trip from Dallas, Texas to El Paso, which is 10-hour drive? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to watch
9 if you
have them come here. Yeah, and then my older sister, no, I'm getting too old for that, or I'm going to jump on the plane. And I mean, but you're here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then that means so much to me. So I think the hardest thing that's going to be for me not to do at the grand opening, if everything goes according to plan, the hardest thing going to be me to do is not to cry, because now, my daughter might fly in, and share that with me. And then, they have my family, and then I can employ my friends now
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So it's like, damn. And then it's like all these up and coming comedians, it's like, to me, it's equivalent to when that house landed on the witch, on the Wizard of Oz. I want to have that feeling where they feel like, yo, the witch is there. You know what I'm saying? It's like I want to give them that thing, because I want to give them opportunity to jump on another stage, but I want to put you on another stage with people that's already done filled the room. So now you get on stage and you show your ass. You know what I'm saying? You give them, you do you. I can put you on stage, but I can't make you funny.
Yeah.
But if you get up there and blaze it, you never know if this person that's coming from out of town think you so funny that they want to take you to another show with them. The opportunities are endless, but us as club owners got to stop being tyrants, and we got to sit here and say, hey, man, let me give you an opportunity to grow. I know people, so let me call people and get you over here. Like, every club owner in this business know each other or know of each other.
Yeah. You do this cool thing where it's like, I can see why your family would come down and people were supportive of you. You're talking, this club hasn't even opened yet.
Yeah.
And you have a whole vision. You
Yeah.
talk about it with a power and energy as if it's already killing it. And that if I was an investor, I would invest in you right away, just for that reason. Because
damn.
you have that energy of like, and you're passionate behind it, and you're talking about real stuff. And I can tell that you can't fail at this. There's no way.
Yeah.
Because you already kind of have it there. You have a plan, long-term, short-term. You know what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it. And if they come down and see you on that opening day, man, you got to cry, let it out, man. Don't even fight that back, man. Just go with it.
It's hard not to even, honestly sit around and think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, and even that it hasn't happened, man. Like I said, Amir is one of my dear friends, bro. Like, I don't know why. Like, as soon as we met, we just clicked.
Yeah.
And one day we was talking, man, and some stuff happened with him, and he was all on the news. They was talking about his program that he started.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just said we just so happened to talk that day when I first came up with the idea of the comedy club once I found the building. And me and him talked on the phone, man, and this dude has a habit of, he always pull those strings on me, man. Amir is one dude that
He knows
I know.
how to hit you the right way.
He know how to hit me, man, because Amir is so genuine.
Yeah.
And when he says something, man, it's from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk to somebody like that, man, you're on the phone like, no. Like
Hey, man, someone's at the door.
Yeah, I get that curly lip. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. No. So you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, damn.
It's like that scene in Forgetting Sarah Marshall where they call.
Oh.
We heard some crying. Yeah, I think it's the person upstairs. I heard it too.
Me, yeah.
They're like, you're on the top floor. Yeah, I'll keep it down.
That movie's a bomb. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, so he's that guy, man. But then when, like I said, when you talk to people, man, and then it's different. Like with African American, I have African Americans, older ones,
Mm-hmm.
pulling me to the side, and they say, "Yo, young brother, what you doing is so dope." Because it's like, even in this area, we're a minority. Like, look at the ratio.
Mm-hmm.
So to have a black guy from Dallas, Texas, that's not even from here,
Mm-hmm.
to achieve, I'm not only doing this for my family, my kids. I'm also doing this for my African American community, but I'm also doing this for my Mexican American community, because let's be honest, we don't make a bunch of money in Las Cruces, and I'm part of Las Cruces. I'm Las Cruces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not Austin Troutish Las Cruces, but I claim Las Cruces when I go places. Hey, man, I'm from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Oh, man, you don't speak Spanish? You know what I'm saying? That's how dumb America is.
Imagine how they feel when I say it too.
Oh, my God, yeah, bro.
They're like, why aren't you red?
Yeah, and what they say in L.A., when I went to L.A., they were like, man, it must be 5 black people in New Mexico. He's at 4 now because you're here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I am that homeboy
Mm-hmm.
that you seen like, oh, man, look what my man doing. You know what I'm saying? And you have that pride. Like, remember when Austin fought Cotto?
Yes. One of my favorite fights.
It was a 5-7-5 pride, man. We at the airport, blah, 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 A, B, C, and D.
Well, even when he won the Mexico World Championship too. But
Yeah.
you're right. That was right. It was before the Cotto fight. But once that Cotto fight happened on Showtime, it was
over.
I had friends that never watched boxing in their life pretending like they knew every little, because they liked him and they wanted to root for the hometown. He had everyone losing their mind.
And Austin's a
and
good
in the
dude.
way he won too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good dude. So, so I want to give people that feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like when you watch me, like I said, you can go down to any 7-Eleven. You can go down to any Walmart, and then people like, one lady was like, I knew it was you because I heard your laugh. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm the same guy, man. It's like, I don't care. I drove when I had my Corvette. I was at the dollar store, bro. Like, that's me.
They got some stuff there, man.
Think they don't, bro. And all of it ain't a dollar. That would piss me off.
Always start there and then go if they don't have it somewhere else.
I'm going to tell you what you don't do. You don't go to the dollar store and go buy their toilet paper.
Oh,
it might be 200 rolls for $2.
That's the rare thing that I actually care about. Like, I don't care about name brands a lot and fancy stuff, but toilet paper I care about.
Man, I care now.
I need some good stuff.
Now, I care now because I went to that dollar store and bought that dollar toilet paper.
Did your finger go through the paper?
Man, I ain't had hair on my ass in like 8 years, bro. Like honestly, I feel sorry for women that get Brazilian wax because I Brazilian wax myself, bro. I couldn't even sit down. I'm bending over, putting peroxide on the back of my ass, man. I'm like, ooh, Lord, hey, never again, bro. Never. Oh my God, it took out. That's all I heard, bro. It was nasty.
That's funny,
booty
man.
bleeding. My booty had its own period. That's the first time I had a booty period. It was bad. I was like, damn, I'm bleeding. And then I'm over dramatic. I start falling on the ground.
You're killing the dollar store stock right now, man.
I don't give a damn. They killed me. They killed me, bro. But hey, get the real toilet paper. Stop playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So it's like I'm excited for it to open. I'm excited and I love the support, man. Y'all don't understand. Like there'll be days, man, that I'm like so tired. Like I went to Phoenix this weekend to pick up the sound system.
Mm-hmm.
It was 121 degrees in Phoenix.
That's wild. And I have some buddies there that was saying it was out of this world.
Out of this world, bro. Like it's so bad I start getting headaches, man. And I'm down in water. But I knew I had to make it up there and make it back with the sound system. I put $20,000 worth of equipment in a Nissan Altima, bro.
Jesus.
And the speakers by themselves is like 85 pounds a piece. And so I'm driving back, man, but I know I have to get this done. So I throw on my music. And then the sound system I got, I don't know, did you go to the Baby Bash concert?
No, I didn't go.
All of the big concerts.
I've seen the equipment because I had Robbie on to promote it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing concert equipment in my club because I want everybody, no matter where you're sitting, to hear everything that's happening.
Yeah.
We got like 8 TVs. I'm putting in a film projector. Our lights is top of the line. Everything. So like when the show get ready to start, it's gonna be like a light show, bro. Like I said, I want it to be an experience like that thing that just happened. What they got up there at the mall? That thing everybody's going to in the tent.
Oh, it's like a horror carnival or something like that. I haven't gone. I saw it. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you see how everybody's excited to go.
But there isn't much going on either, and that seems like a fun thing right off the bat.
Well, okay, what's the difference in the comedy club?
No, I get what you're saying. No, I like where your head's at.
Yeah.
It's an experience. Yeah,
I want an experience. I want you to walk in, especially like you be like, hey, baby, I'm going to do something nice for you tonight. We're going to the comedy club.
Get you some Skittles.
Yeah, get you some Skittles. We're going to get some, we're going to shake them in the hand.
Treat you right, girl.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, we're going to share a Snicker. We're going to take us away. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to go in there and that girl's impressed.
Yeah. I like what you said about experience because everyone knows kind of what to expect from a comedy club. But if they get the funny show as well as some new refreshing thing they didn't expect, plus a new experience, that's kind of cool too.
But see, here's going to be the difference. What I decided to do is build my bar outside of the area where they're performing.
Okay.
And the reason I've done that is because, let's say, for instance, you want to go to a show and it starts at 7 and say you get there at 6. I'm going to make it where you can call ahead and reserve a table by the bar. So if you want to grab something to eat, something to drink, even before the show starts,
Smart.
you can go in there, and which is smart for me 2 ways. 1, it rains sometimes. 2, you don't always want to sit there because 1, let's be real, at the other club, the bar's on the inside of the showroom. So you can't get a drink until you go in there.
It's also distracting.
Very.
Yeah, it is distracting.
Very. And then, like I said, I got top-notch bartenders, man. So you can come in my club and chill by the bar until the show starts.
And then once you're in, you just have runners come bring you your drinks.
Yeah, I mean, we still gonna have a 2-item minimum. So if you want to buy a Snicker, no, I was joking. If you want to buy something to eat and something to drink, you know, even if you over here, you still, but when you cross those doors, you still got to have a 2-item minimum. There's gonna be no bad seats in the house because I don't have poles in the middle of my club. So when you at the club,
Are you insinuating someone does?
Proof is in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? So there's no obstruction to you seeing the stage.
They're gonna have a good experience.
It's gonna be man, bro. It's gonna be. I can make that place a club. Cause $20,000.
You can do so much. Dude, I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited for you, man.
Ooh, man.
If there's anything I can do to help out in any way, if you think I can help out, let me
All
know.
I want you to do is like call me and say, hey man, I want to come to the club tonight. The first weekend, it's gonna be the 915 weekend. So that means if you don't get the VIP tickets that we're gonna give out, the regular tickets are only $9.15.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm also gonna show love to my Hot 103 family. So I'm gonna have tickets there for free.
Got you.
You know, the first weekend, bro, some of the comedians and my friends, man, that are hilarious. And all I want to do is put these people in front of you. And if I could build one comedian that's not mainstream now, if I can do at least one to make him go from 13 followers, 5,000, then I feel like I have succeeded at what I want to do for this market. But I can tell you, man, I have had other club owners around the nation call me, and we would have conversations, man. And I am very encouraged how many people that are excited that this comedy club is coming. Like from people to call me from Florida because they heard about it, and I'm tripping like, how the hell you hear about us in Florida?
People talk, man.
People talk, bro.
Kind of exactly what you said. You never know who's watching or listening.
You never know, man. And then when they hear my plans, and they were like, "You sure you never, you never owned a comedy club?" For I said, "I'm 100% sure." But this is my idea from going to different places, seeing.
You're a sponge.
Yeah.
You,
oh my God.
You know exactly what doesn't work and what does.
Oh my God, bro. And
just from being at them,
I love it. Like I go to the club and I'm like, oh, so that's how we get our drinks so fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, but the clubs in Phoenix. Oh my God, bro.
It's a bit. It's a bit. I liked what you said about the bar outside and like being able to sit there and wait for the thing. It reminded me of something, and I talked about this on one of the other podcasts, so it's kind of a good moment to do a follow-up on it.
Yeah.
I had a really bad experience at Jack's here with a security guard where he was pretty much being an asshole. Long story short, in case people are listening that saw the other one, we came at like 11. It was closing at 12, and we said, "Hey, is this the line for Jack?" He said, "Yeah, go ahead and stand right here." He was like kind of like bossy, the security guard. And I go to stand, and I'm with my girl and some friends out of town.
Right.
And as we moved there, he waited for us to move there. And he was like, "Oh, and by the way, it's over an hour to get in, and it closes at 12, so you guys are going to get in." And I was like, "Why did you waste my time? Like, I got mad at him. Anyways, bad experience, left. I went back there, same exact security guard, but the owner was there this time. And he did kind of what you said. Saved it, by the way. So if anyone's listening to this guy totally saved it. He's one of the coolest people ever. I guess the owner of Jack's was there. And same thing, the wait was going to be forever. But instead of doing what the other guy did, he said, "Hey, man, we're at max capacity upstairs. Why don't you come in? I'm going to get you guys some drinks, and you can sit right over here at the Amador, the grill place, and we'll get you up to Jack's when it opens up. This is Sarah, or I'm making up a name. She's going to walk you over there." And they did. He walked over. He came over himself and apologized again. He said, "I'm sorry you guys had to wait. We're going to get you guys some drinks, but I want to let you know, feel free to have fun here, and we will come find you. You don't have to do anything, and we'll come bring you up there." And then I thought, cool, what a cool guy. But I part of me thought like he's not going to come get us, but whatever, this place is cool too. And he did. He came over. The girl came to exactly what he did. Wonderful experience. I love that he did that. And it reminded me of that when you said like the whole, even though you're not doing exactly that, but saying, "Hey, sit here." He owns that one too. So he's a good businessman, and it's good customer service. Instead of telling me like the security guard did, he goes, "Why don't you sit over here? I'm going to take care of you." And then of course we went up and spent tons of money. He wins, we win, great experience. And so I like what you said about that, because that's smart. People are going to sit there and wait, and they're going to enjoy the experience of that part and also enjoy the experience of being in the club instead of standing in a line.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
But think of how many comedy clubs you've been to before in your life, right? How many times have you really met the owner?
Never.
Thank you.
Never.
Thank you. And see, that's going to be the big difference, is that with me being such a nice person, I guess you say it like that, I like to be in the know because you catch the vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can talk to me, I'm not, and even if I'm busy, I can tell you, "Hey man, listen here, blah, blah, blah. I'm busy right now, but let me go knock this out. I'll be back." And I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I want to hear what you have to say, because if you, as a patron, that if you don't support me, then I'm not going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to listen to you because it's your dollars that's keeping me open. So why wouldn't I listen to you? And if we have those overzealous security guys and stuff like that, I'm around or close enough that I can be like, hey, man, that's not what we're here for. Like, if these people don't get in, I don't make money. So what's the use of having them waiting outside?
And if what that guy said was true, there's a good way to deliver that message.
Yes.
Not the way he did. Hey, guys, just so you know, I don't want you guys to waste your time. There's only an hour left. You guys are probably trying to get in somewhere. There's a pretty good chance you're not going to get in. You can wait. He could have done that.
And it makes it so much different.
And he's a rep. What he doesn't get is he's a representation of that place.
Yeah.
I'm now going to go tell all my friends about this terrible experience there because of you. And I never even made it inside.
Word of mouth.
And that's terrible. So you're absolutely right.
And that's why I'm basically handpicking my people in certain areas, like my guy I got for security, good guy. No, you know, and I even tell people, hey man, your job isn't to be, you know, Roadhouse. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we're here for.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what we're here for, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we even got security that's going to be inside of the showroom. So we're going to stop the talking at the table. The chatter during the show. We're going to stop, we're going to stop the filming of the show because that's these artists' craft. You know what I'm saying? So we're making it where everybody get to enjoy themselves because there's nothing worse than going to a comedy show and there's that one annoying person that want to be on stage and he has to make the show not as good as it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, it only takes one.
Yeah, it only takes one. So I'm not going to allow that, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like your measly dollars to me isn't worth me ruining my club or ruining these artists' experience because if these guys are flying in town to give you a show, I want them to give you a show.
And you paid for it. So I'm helping you enjoy the show too.
Yeah.
I'm helping you get your money's worth.
Yeah, and you don't get the refund after I kick you out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're trying to make an experience and I'm trying to think of more stuff that I could do, man, because I know I'm having TVs around. And one of the things that we are going to do is like when you come in and the TV's playing, what the TV is going to show you is who's coming up next, who's coming up next week, who's coming up tomorrow. And then we're bringing our club into 2021. So now it's going to be like everything is on the phone, bro. So if you don't make stuff where people can keep this stuff on the phone and just walk up, the world is lazier.
Yes.
So we want to go to the lazier world.
So here's another idea. I just thought of this right now.
Let's do it.
Is their social media on a screen. The other day I was sitting there on my TV and I was trying to play something from my phone to the TV.
Right.
And I was trying to log in. It was stupid. It's like go to the side. I clicked the button wrong. This is so frustrating. And then it says, if you're on your home Wi-Fi, click here or whatever. And literally it just pulls up a QR code. And I literally with my camera, I could do it. I did it from across the room. Yeah. I didn't have to get up on it. I just zoomed in and the QR code popped it up and then it went and it connected.
It's everything.
So your comedians that come in, maybe there could be like their face and then a QR code for their social media, YouTube to promote them, right? Or if you have specials or schedules, literally they just scan it real quick. They're on their phone anyways, right?
Yeah.
Literally just scan the QR code and they're there and they can follow whoever the comedian is, right?
QR code's everything, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought, how crazy and easy is it? I don't even have to click nothing. I just find it and then it just pops up.
Put a poster board up, QR code for our all the stuff for social media. Just hit this and it'll go straight to our Instagram or,
club,
whatever.
follow us so you know all the shows.
I mean, and that's all the stuff that we're working on, man. Like I say, I just think it's so dope that people feel like they can inbox me and tell me that this comedian is the funny and you need to go look at him. He got millions of viewers. And I'm responding back. And that's what this girl told me. She was like, I wrote you. I didn't think you would respond back.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm always on my social media.
That's how it is when people write me to be on the podcast. Like I wrote you back right away. Yeah. But everyone that writes me, they say that afterwards. Like, I didn't think you'd write me back.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, who am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm always on. I mean, every morning I post a video so people can laugh and get their day started right.
I love that you do that, by the way.
Yeah.
It's really smart.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of person I am, man. It's like, who am I to ignore you?
Yeah.
I mean, later on, I won't be, if everything get busy, I won't be able to hit you as fast, but I'm going to hit you back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even with the up and coming comedians, I'm going to have, once I get everything together, send your videos to this place so I can watch it or a representative of mine can watch it and we can determine if we want to bring you in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or if you're funny. Because there's a bunch of comedians that I work with, man, like in Denver, which got a bunch of great comedians. Of course, Phoenix, L.A., Dallas, Houston. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm taking all those people that I worked with before.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guys, come on over here to Noah's Ark. I got something
There you
for
go.
y'all, especially if you've never been in the El Paso area or you've been expelled from the El Paso area. Come on over.
Yeah.
I got
a
something
spot
for you. Oh, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? But let's do business. Here's my contract. Here's your deposit.
Mm-hmm.
I got your hotel room. I got your plane ticket, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole nother ball game when you're the owner / CEO. It's like, I'm going to treat you like I want to be treated.
Yeah.
And if you come do my club, I'm going to pay you a deposit. I'm going to get your hotel room. I'm going to get you food. We're going to pick you up from the airport, blah, 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 A, B, C, and D. So it's going to be the El Paso version of the improv. I look at the improv models, and that is what I'm going after. I want people to walk in, and I want you to be the comedian, and you do a show, then you're on social media like, oh, my God, I just left El Paso. It was a bomb. Yeah. You need to support this dude, blah, 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 A, B, C, and D. And that's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course, once again, regular open mics. So that way these local and up-and-coming comedians can get their chops right.
Yes.
And that's very, very important.
You're going to kill it, man. I can already tell. I'm excited for it. We're going to have to wrap this up. We've been talking for 2.5 hours, man.
Shit.
We've been killing it, though. That's how good it's been.
Yeah.
Let me end it with this, though. First of all, like I said before, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know.
Yeah.
If you have someone that's really funny, you think they would be good on here, I love talking. This is so easy talking.
You know what? Here's the fun thing.
Send them to me.
I'm going to tell you
me.
in the inbox because I don't want nobody to be expelled from another club because I gave you somebody's name. So I will inbox you. I know some dude, man, I guarantee you in the next year or two, man, you're going to hear about it.
Okay. Yeah, let me know if there's anything that I can do to help promote or tag me and stuff, or I can do something. If you need help around the club or something, I don't like I said, locally, the way I appreciate you coming on here and helping me out, I'm helping you out. I appreciate it, man, and I think it's going to be badass when that club opens
water
up.
all over myself. I almost
it was so embarrassing,
myself
bro.
On the, yeah,
it was
you
so
know
embarrassing.
What? Hey, but you know what?
I almost would.
This me. I tell people this me, bro. Like honestly, if I go eat, most of my food on my lap. So
it is what it is.
I'm that person. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it alone. Hey man, please listen to my radio show on Hot 103. It's called In the Kitchen with DJ Black from 5 to 8. Shout out to my man Joey. He's the producer for the show. Also Jackie. They do the big show on Hot 103. Man, that's my family. Also, my club should be opening tomorrow. This is airing on Tuesday, right?
So air on Tuesday.
So
the big day will have happen. Big meeting would have happened.
Hopefully by time this airs, I have a better answer when we open it. We're playing the city game right now. But when it does open, everybody and their mama is welcome.
And there we go.
Crack Me Up Comedy Club. Come on out there and get your laugh on. Yeah. I don't know why I do that old.
That's the tagline.
Uneasy ass laugh.
Oh, that's why you do it. It's uneasy.
Yeah, it is, bro.
All right. I appreciate you coming down, my brother.
Thank you for not
ladies
letting me
and
wear
gentlemen.
A mask, man.
Oh, yeah. No mask.
No mask.
You know, after the water incident, I might have you wear a mask.
I should, man. I don't wear a mask no more because one day I didn't brush my teeth. And I had my mask on, my nose started bleeding because my breath was so bad. It was awful,
Your
bro.
mask breath is real.
It was bad. It was like, oh, like I had my nose hair leave because it was like, oh, it's stinking here. I don't know what's going on. It's Pepe Le Pew. No, I'm just joking. All right, man, thanks. Bro.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Black.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you, my brother.
Thank y'all, man. 2.5 hours?
Damn, we hit
Damn.
2 hours and 32 minutes.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, man.